Chapter 1596. Lon Luo, I said enough. I told you not to say any more. Let me tell you, there are many things in this world that are more important than your life. It is just that you, Lon Luo, do not understand. After killing a jumping clown, the commotion was greater than Lon Luo imagined. In merely 2 days, she actually became famous in Purple Sun City. One had to listen to her in everything. Otherwise, one would be in the wrong, angering her. One would be rude and unreasonable. No matter how one tried to explain, it would be useless. Look, Xiao Chen is coming out. If such a person was of extraordinary birth and held a noble status, it would be even more so. When Lon Luo, who was walking over, heard this, she felt somewhat angry. However, the situation was urgent, so she could not be bothered with him. Lon Luo's heart sank. Why is this person like this? I saved his life out of kindness, but he has a stern expression. Sorry for causing a misunderstanding between you and Miss Lon Luo. Xiao Chen's expression immediately changed. He looked at the other party and asked, "Are you threatening me?" When Fei heard that, she paled slightly. She lowered her head and said, "Big brother Xiao Chen, how about, did I say anything wrong? Speak. What is more important than your life? What is there to prevent you from leaving Purple Sun City?" Lon Luo immediately felt wronged in her heart. She had come to save him out of kindness, but Xiao Chen actually lost his temper at her. "Haha. That is natural. He has been spending a lot of money in the Purple Cloud Pavilion. It would be hard for people not to be envious. There has never been a lack of fugitives in Purple Sun City." With so many discussions entering his ears, even Xiao Chen felt somewhat stunned. I heard that some of the small gangs outside the city have their eyes on him as well. Although Lon Luo said that she would not care about Xiao Chen before she left, she still told Xiao Chen about the Temple Ghost sect seeking trouble for him. Xiao Chen had a rather good impression of this girl. Previously, it was just a small misunderstanding. Of the 3 new talents, one was dead, one had lost all his dignity, and his whereabouts were unknown. Only Feng Bu remained, a topic of discussion. "Miss Lon Luo, are you looking for me?" Just at this moment, a melodious voice rang out outside Idle Cloud Restaurant. Xiao Chen looked around and saw Lon Luo walking in, wearing a red dress. Tears welled up in Lon Luo's eyes and slowly flowed out. She said in a somewhat hoarse voice, "If I do not leave, will you still attack me?" "All right, I don't understand. I'll go. Xiao Chen, whether you live or die has nothing to do with me. I heard that he appeared in the Purple Cloud Pavilion once yesterday. When he came out, there was a trace of anger on his face. If the other party had turned against him and left because of a misunderstanding, then this time, Xiao Chen really found it hard to be angry." Lon Luo calmed herself and explained the pros and cons, hoping that Xiao Chen would listen to her. However, in Xiao Chen's heart, he did not regret it at all. 2 days ago, he was the one who killed the Ice Snow Sword, Luo Feng, and humiliated the Burning Moon sect's Yen Exen. Even now, his whereabouts are unknown. Misunderstanding? There is no misunderstanding. I know why he is here. However, never mind. She has not experienced it before, so it would be hard for her to understand the promise of going through thick and thin together. Naturally, Xiao Chen and the others ignored her, continuing to drink and chat. Fei felt somewhat nervous. Her senior brother would be saved soon. She hoped that nothing unexpected would happen. They would arrive at Idle Cloud Restaurant soon. "Think whatever you want. Give me the pirate flag, and I will return the spirit jades to you in their original state. After that, I will send someone to escort you away. Purple Sun City will immediately become a land of trouble. The game that follows is not something you can play." Lon Luo's words struck Lon Luo's soft spot, making her feel helpless and flustered. Indeed, what was more important than Xiao Chen's life? Xiao Chen said indifferently, "Thank you. However, I still have things to do and cannot leave." Xiao Chen had a clear conscience. He did not kill the innocent and gave the other party many chances. All of this was the ice-snow sword, Luo Feng. He only had himself to blame. Shao Qin took a sip of wine to drown his sorrows, no longer talking about Lan Luo. There would always be some people who stubbornly believed that, since they had given 100% of their sincerity to you, you had to give 100% of your sincerity back. Shao Qin looked at Lan Luo coldly. I know that you have a noble status and an extraordinary background. However, in my eyes, there is nothing special about you. Don't think too highly of yourself, thinking that just because you gave me something, I should be deeply grateful and kowtow to you. As for the obvious gazes, there were countless of them. Big brother, Beauty Lan Luo is here again? When Xiao Suo saw the situation, he immediately smiled and said, Your charm is really extraordinary. You underestimate me, Shao Qin. It doesn't matter if you sincerely want to save me or if you covet my pirate flag. You'd better disappear immediately. I wonder if he will seek trouble for that white-robed Shao Qin. If he does, that would be interesting. He is really bold. I thought that he had already left Purple Sun City long ago. To think that he dares to remain here after offending 2 large sections. Why are you not listening to me? Is there anything more important than your life? Lan Luo raised her voice and advised, Do you think that after killing the ice-snow sword, you can do as you please in Purple Sun City? Have you heard? One of the 3 new talents of the Purple Sun region, the wind-chasing sex Fengbiu, has appeared, someone in the inn said in a low voice at this moment. Big brother, there are so many eyes on us. There are people in the open and in the dark. Xiao Suo sized up the surroundings, appearing extremely cautious. Xiao Suo's blood surged and his body tensed up. Even when he robbed those large sects, he had not experienced such a feeling. Fei said softly, Big brother Shao Qin, so, he came here to look for me for the Scarlet Blood War banner. Since Shao Qin already knew the origins of the Scarlet Blood War banner, he naturally would not hand it over. However, he is someone who can even kill the ice-snow sword. If you want to target him, you have to think about it carefully. The moment Xiao Suo said that, this topic immediately ended, as someone discovered Shao Qin's presence. Shao Qin did not hesitate, directly stepping in. Then, he took a seat and ordered some food, waiting for Senior Lu to appear. Xiao Suo was indeed somewhat afraid. After all, who was not afraid of death? However, he also felt some excitement. Xiao Suo immediately did not dare to continue the conversation. Afraid. Naturally, I am afraid. Who would not be afraid of causing such a huge commotion? However, if we really fight, I absolutely will not cower. Xiao Suo's words attracted the gazes of many people, and they all revealed curious expressions. Lan Luo nodded and said, Right? Hand over that tattered pirate flag to me. Quickly leave Purple Sun City. Otherwise, your life will be in danger. He appeared 2 days ago. However, he was outside the city. I don't know what he is doing, being so mysterious. Shao Qin smiled faintly. This Xiao Suo was speaking the truth. Xiao Suo did not have as many trump cards as Shao Qin did, so it was hard to avoid fear. Seeing Fei Er's expression, Shao Qin truly felt angry. He held his wine cup and slammed it down heavily on the table. Then, he said coldly, Enough! Shao Qin had seen too many major scenes. His heart was as calm as an ancient well, calm and unperturbed. The white-robed Shao Qin came out from the Pirate Alliance. Since Xiao Suo killed him, so be it. There was no need to think too much. Shao Qin did not want to explain too much. One day, when the other party truly matured, he would naturally understand who was right and who was wrong. He would also know that there were many things in this world that were more important than his life. Don't overthink. Things are not as bad as you think. Shao Qin. Bang. Lan Luo simply did not want to see such a person, who had helped her and made her think highly of him, die in Purple Sun City like that. Shao Qin asked calmly, Are you afraid? Lan Luo had never suffered such grievances before. She felt so wrong that she wanted to cry. Xiao Chen smiled consolingly and said, "It's fine. Don't overthink. No matter what, I will wait for Luo Nan to recover before leaving. If one did not die, one would not die." Since young, Lan Luo had always been the pearl of her family and friends. Just as Xiao Chen left the western side of the city, his sharp spiritual sense immediately detected several dozen gazes on him. The Temple Ghost Sect's third sect master outside the city will come looking for you to hand over the dazzling sunlight true flame. Then you can die at his hands. Chapter 1597. Xiao Chen held his wine cup and pondered. He said to Xiao Suo, "What kind of existence is the Temple Ghost Sect?" "Xiao Suo, tell me about it." Xiao Suo smiled and said, "Big brother, do you really believe what that girl said? I think she just wants to snatch the Scarlet Blood War banner." Xiao Chen shook his head and said, "You don't understand women. Although her personality is a bit bad, and she doesn't understand many principles of how to conduct herself in the world. Otherwise, before he left, he wouldn't have told me about the Luo Cha school." Xiao Suo scratched his head and said with a smile, "I'm just a boorish person. However, I do know a bit about this Temple Ghost Sect. There are many bandit gangs outside the city. They might not be worth mentioning in front of second-rank sects, but in the eyes of ordinary people, they are tyrants." Xiao Chen gestured for him to continue. "These bandit gangs typically bully the weak and fear the strong. When they encounter a rank 2 sect's disciple, they are all respectful, but when they encounter a lone wolf, they immediately reveal their ferocious side." Xiao Chen had sensed this when he entered the city. "Who's Xiao Chen? Show yourself." Suddenly, a rumbling roar came from outside Idle Cloud Restaurant. It was deafening. This shocked all the people drinking in the restaurant. Someone actually dared to challenge Xiao Chen. Did he not know that he had even killed the Ice Peak Sword? Could he be an elder of the Burning Moon sect or the Ice and Snow Villa? No, this voice sounded like a bandit and did not have the demeanor of a disciple of a sect. Xiao Chen's eyes narrowed slightly. The one who came should be the Killing Luo sect's third sect leader. He didn't expect the other party to arrive so quickly. His tone was arrogant to the extreme. "Big brother, this person must be the Temple Ghost sect's third sect master. His nickname is Black Tiger, and he is an early-stage minor primal core cultivator. He has experienced many battles and is good with the saber." Xiao Suo's expression changed slightly when he heard this voice. Xiao Chen got up and put down his cup. He said softly, "You guys stay here. I'll go out and take a look." At this moment, a lot of people had already gathered outside Idle Cloud Restaurant. However, they were all hiding far away. They did not dare approach Idle Cloud Restaurant. As a result, the area outside the gate was empty. Only a dark-skinned, ferocious-looking man stood in the middle, looking extremely domineering. "You are the white-robed Xiao Chen?" Black Tiger asked in a deep voice when he saw that the person who walked out was wearing white clothes. A terrifying baleful aura emanated from his body, causing others to not dare approach him. As he spoke, he stared at Xiao Chen like a wild beast. Xiao Chen nodded. "That's me. However, the one I killed was the Ice Snow Sword, Luo Feng. What grudge do I have with your Killing Rakshasa sect for you to attack me?" "Ha ha ha, that's right. Our Rakshasa sect is looking for trouble. What kind of grudges do we have? You won the bid for the Extreme Yang Real Fire, right? Our big brother asked you to hand it over, and then the Killing Luo sect will naturally not trouble you anymore." He Hu threatened, but his eyes were still fixed on Xiao Chen. Xiao Chen looked around. "Just you?" He Hu smiled and said, "I alone am enough to get you to hand over the dazzling sunlight true fire." He Hu looked very awe-inspiring as he held a black saber in his hand. It was like he already had Xiao Chen in the bag. Xiao Chen said indifferently, "It is not impossible. You just need an earth flame of the same grade to exchange for it. If I am satisfied, perhaps I will hand the dazzling sunlight true fire to you." "Interesting. Are you looking down on me? He Hu revealed a sinister smile as he looked coldly at Xiao Chen. In Purple Sun City, there are very few veritable personages who dare to speak to me like this. Even the 3 new talents do not dare to. The veritable personages who dared to speak to me like this are already dead. He Hu's tone was cold, revealing confidence and indifference. When the others heard what He Hu said, they shook their heads in their hearts. The Rakshasa sex people were indeed overbearing. He Hu was indeed very strong. Furthermore, the Rakshasa sect was considered a peak existence among the factions outside the city. Few people dared to offend He Hu. After all, Xiao Chen was not a local. Furthermore, he had offended the Burning Moon sect and the Ice Snow Mountain Manor. If he did not hand over the dazzling sunlight true fire now, Xiao Chen would probably die here before the people of the 2 sects arrived. You only have 1 life. However, in your long life, you will definitely meet the dazzling sunlight true fire a second time. You understand what I mean? He Hu looked at Xiao Chen and issued a final ultimatum. Did he want to keep his life or keep the dazzling sunlight true fire? Xiao Chen's gaze was as calm as still water. He glanced at He Hu indifferently and said, "Many people have said similar things to me. However, I have always lived well. However, I killed the person who said that, even if he was the Ice Snow Sword. I'll give you a choice as well. Before I truly get angry, scram." Unexpectedly, when faced with He Hu's ultimatum, not only did Xiao Chen not make a choice, but he even told He Hu to scram immediately. Otherwise, only death awaited him. Xiao Chen's calm eyes flashed with some arrogance and sharpness. This fellow. Actually, Lan Luo had not gone far from a tall building in the distance. She still paid attention to the situation in Idle Cloud Restaurant. Lan Luo cursed in her heart. Xiao Chen is too arrogant. Killing the Ice Snow Sword does not mean that he can defeat He Hu. He Hu was an excellent cultivator among the minor primal core cultivators. Furthermore, he was a veteran of hundreds of battles. The Ice Snow Sword, Luo Feng, did not dare to offend such a person. However, not only did Xiao Chen not show any weakness, he even turned the tables and threatened He Hu. Indeed, when He Hu heard Xiao Chen's words, he laughed sinisterly. "Ha ha ha ha. This is interesting. Xiao Chen, you are the first to dare to threaten me like that. However, you will definitely be the last." Whoosh! A sharp, furious roar came from He Hu's mouth. Then, his physical body turned into a black afterimage and vanished. In the next moment, He Hu held his saber with one hand and appeared at He Hu's side. Then, he pounced over like a ferocious tiger. A strong wind blew, making it hard for the people watching in the distance to open their eyes or stand firmly. The black saber gave off a cold and sinister light in the air. Then, it turned into a ferocious black tiger ferocious beast descending on Xiao Chen. This movement technique was so fast that only an afterimage could be seen. This saber light was strange and sinister. There was a terrifying ferocious spirit on the saber. What terrifying strength! Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. This black tiger was indeed much stronger than the Ice Snow Sword. Xiao Chen gathered his veritable essence energy and punched. Bang! The fist light and saber light clashed. Xiao Chen took a step back, feeling his arm go slightly numb. He Hu laughed maniacally and took advantage of the momentum to charge forward, sending out 3 saber strikes. With each saber strike, Xiao Chen took a step back. Instantly, he took 3 steps back. Xiao Chen thought to himself, this black tiger is indeed not simple. Even though I absorbed the 10,000-year-old baleful Yin energy, my veritable essence energy can barely block the other party's attack. After all, He Hu is an early-stage minor primal core cultivator. The difference in cultivation between us is too great. Of course, Xiao Chen only has a slight advantage in cultivation. You are somewhat strong, but that is all. I heard that you are a bladesman as well. What's wrong? You don't even have the courage to draw your saber before me? Black Tiger laughed maniacally as he held the upper hand in the fight, suppressing the other party. Whoosh! Whoosh! Black Tiger took 2 steps back. For some reason, his right hand, which held the saber scabbard, felt a slight pain. Unexpectedly, the other party's fist light contained a saber intent that was hard to break. After exchanging a few hundred moves, it had already penetrated deep into Black Tiger's arm. While Black Tiger retreated, he quickly suppressed this saber intent. Then, he looked at Xiao Chen and said, "I'll give you a chance to draw your saber." How arrogant! It looks like this Black Tiger wants to toy with Xiao Chen. He can't do anything about it. The difference in cultivation is too great. Clearly, Black Tiger advanced to the primal core realm steadily. His veritable essence energy is exceptionally dense and firm. Xiao Chen is too arrogant. This is the result of his arrogance. He cannot retaliate at all. When the spectators in the distance heard Black Tiger's words, they all discussed it. This made Black Tiger reveal a cocky expression. "You want me to draw my saber?" Xiao Chen revealed an expression of surprise. Is the other party tired of living? While it looked like the other party held the upper hand earlier, the flawless saber intent in Xiao Chen's fist light and great Tao energy were not to be trifled with. Others might not understand, but could it be that this Black Tiger did not? Or was he just pretending to be relaxed? If I tell you to draw your saber, then draw your saber. Otherwise, don't blame me for not even giving you the chance to draw your saber, Black Tiger said coldly. Not only did he want to kill this Xiao Chen, but he also wanted to kill him beautifully. He wanted his name, Black Tiger, to spread even wider in Purple Sun City. Flawless saber technique, void-breaking stance. Since Black Tiger wanted to die, Xiao Chen could only satisfy him. When Xiao Chen drew the lunar shadow saber, great Tao energy appeared. The strong saber great Tao energy instantly shattered Black Tiger's saber technique like breaking dead branches. The other party had only comprehended 8 saber souls, not even a saber domain. However, Xiao Chen had already surpassed the saber domain long ago, comprehending great Tao energy. The two were on completely different levels. The instant the great Tao energy appeared, Black Tiger felt like his brain temporarily lost its ability to think. When he looked around, Xiao Chen's figure suddenly vanished. Just as he was feeling horrified, a figure suddenly appeared before him. Just as Black Tiger was feeling horrified, a resplendent saber light flashed like the blazing sun in the sky, blinding everyone. The saber light flashed and stabbed into Black Tiger's chest. In that instant it shattered all his internal organs. Chapter 1598. You! Black Tiger vomited a mouthful of blood. His expression changed drastically as intense pain spread throughout his entire body. He found it hard to understand. Why did Xiao Chen break through his defense with one saber strike? Why did Xiao Chen instantly shatter his saber move, leaving him unable to resist? What exactly was that aura that made his entire body tremble in fear, to the point where he could not even hold his saber? The level of the saber Tao's great Tao energy was too high. Given Black Tiger's cultivation, he simply could not understand it. Black Tiger did not even know how he lost. How did he lose so quickly, with just one saber strike? The resplendent saber light was incredibly dazzling. It also contained boundless sharpness and the power of lightning, as well as great Tao energy. Great Tao energy pointed to the great Tao. The flickering light of the saber light was incredibly frightening. Everyone watching in the distance was stunned. Originally, they thought that Black Tiger was toying with Xiao Chen, telling him to draw his saber. However, who could have imagined that after Xiao Chen drew his saber, he immediately restrained Black Tiger? The advantage of speed was inconceivable. Black Tiger's expression was horrified. His internal organs had already been completely crushed. At this moment, he did his best to drive the energy in his Dantian essence, trying to recover from the damage to his physical body. However, The force contained in Xiao Chen's saber light not only included saber energy but also great Tao energy. This force was incredibly sharp, firmly suppressing Black Tiger's veritable essence energy. Not only did Black Tiger's physical injuries not show any signs of recovering, but they even worsened. The fear of death spread throughout Black Tiger's entire body. He said sullenly, "I don't want it anymore. I don't want the dazzling sunlight true fire anymore." Black Tiger could not block this saber strike at all. If this dragged on, only death awaited him. Begging for mercy. The Temple Ghost Sect's third sect master, Black Tiger, actually begged for mercy before Xiao Chen. This incredible scene startled everyone. When the strong Black Tiger arrived, he was extremely arrogant. He directly told Xiao Chen to get out, wanting to snatch away his dazzling sunlight true fire. Everyone thought that Xiao Chen was in trouble. At the very least, he had to hand over the dazzling sunlight true fire. When Xiao Chen said such arrogant words and rejected Black Tiger, everyone thought that Xiao Chen would definitely die. But who would have thought that the result would be the scene before them? Even the three rookies did not dare to provoke the Black Tiger, who admitted that he was no match for Xiao Chen, was actually begging for mercy in front of Xiao Chen. "It's too late now that you know you don't want it." The quintessence in Xiao Chen's body flowed continuously into the saber hilt and entered the Black Tiger's body. The halo of the Great Path behind him condensed and did not dissipate. Boundless might of the Great Path emanated from his body, making people's hearts tremble inexplicably. Xiao Chen did not intend to let the other party off at all. This Black Tiger's thinking was too simple. When they came, they called him out by name, demanding him to come out and hand over the dazzling sunlight true fire. If he didn't give it to him, he would take his life. Now that he realized that he wasn't a match for Xiao Chen, he wanted to save his own life just by saying that he didn't want it? How could the matters of the world be so simple? That was not the case for everyone. How could he yell at Xiao Chen, step on him in front of everyone, and then walk away after saying a few words? Was that even possible? Impossible. Black Tiger had to die. "Xiao Chen, I'm a member of the Temple Ghost Sect. If you kill me, you will die a horrible death." Black Tiger's injuries worsened, and his complexion turned incredibly weak. When he saw that Xiao Chen still had not let go, he panicked. Black Tiger had no choice but to use the Temple Ghost Sect's name to scare Xiao Chen. The Temple Ghost Sect was a peak existence among the gangs outside the city. Moreover, the entire gang was very united. If any one of them were to be touched, they would definitely be killed. If anyone touched a single person, they would definitely be hunted down by the entire Temple Ghost Sect. A large part of the reason why Black Tiger dared to be so arrogant in Purple Sun City was that he had the Temple Ghost Sect supporting him. "Xiao Chen, let me tell you this. The Temple Ghost Sect is not like the large sections. They do not have that many formalities. As long as someone is killed, they will turn out in full force. Furthermore, it was my big brother who sent me here." Black Tiger grew increasingly weaker. The fear of death made him place his last hope of survival on the threat of the Temple Ghost Sect. "If I let you go, the Temple Ghost Sect will not seek trouble for me?" Xiao Chen's cold voice made one's heart tremble. "Indeed, if I let Black Tiger go, the Temple Ghost Sect will not seek trouble for Xiao Chen? So, you should just die." A ferocious roar resounded in the air. Black Tiger let out a furious roar of despair. His life force was rapidly diminishing. Amid his despair was boundless regret. He regretted offending Xiao Chen, this malefic star. However, now it was all too late. Pusi. Light exploded, and the saber light completely shredded Black Tiger's physical body. Black Tiger turned into a pool of blood drifting in the air. Dead. The Temple Ghost Sect's third sect master, Black Tiger, died. Black Tiger, who was an early-stage minor primal core cultivator, could not even block a single saber strike before Xiao Chen. The result was very surprising. Black Tiger's incredibly tyrannical words, "Draw your saber," would probably become the greatest joke in Purple Sun City. How arrogant and tyrannical was it to give you a chance to draw your saber? However, when Xiao Chen drew his saber, he did not have a chance to regret it at all. Xiao Chen looked at the white-clad figure holding a saber with fluttering long hair. The onlookers in the distance all revealed strange expressions. This youth was truly decisive in killing, not hesitating at all. Xiao Chen sheathed his saber and scattered his great Tao energy. His emotions did not fluctuate too much. If someone wants to kill me, I will kill them. This was a very simple principle. Young man, quickly leave. The temple ghost sex people will charge in soon. In the past, someone killed the temple ghost sex people. In the end, their corpses littered the streets. Half a day later, an old man suddenly said. He could not bear to see Xiao Chen die just like that. Thank you, but I can't leave. Xiao Chen had an appointment with Senior Lu to meet at Idle Cloud Restaurant today. Since the other party had not appeared yet, he naturally could not leave. This matter concerned Luo Nan's life and Fei Er's expectations. Xiao Chen had to do this. Young man, you are just seeking your own death. The Temple Ghost sect has the advantage in numbers. Furthermore, the second sect master and the first sect master are even stronger than Black Tiger. Many discussions came from the crowd, all of them suggesting that Xiao Chen leave immediately. This person is really going to be unlucky. Seeing Xiao Chen ignore the crowd's advice and enter Idle Cloud Restaurant, that old man shook his head slightly. Xiao Chen did not have to wait for long. In less than 15 minutes, a group of cultivators exuding a heavy baleful aura rode over on tall horses, kicking up a cloud of dust as they galloped towards Idle Cloud Restaurant. These people had the same air as Black Tiger, similarly cold-blooded, tyrannical, and unreasonable. Aside from Xiao Chen's group, Idle Cloud Restaurant was already empty. The guests in there all knew that Xiao Chen killed Black Tiger, so they all feared getting caught up in the crossfire. The entire Idle Cloud Restaurant turned extremely quiet, heavy and oppressive. The cavalry in the distance rushed over to Idle Cloud Restaurant, kicking up a cloud of dust. The person leading the group had a cold expression. As he looked at the pool of Black Tiger's blood on the ground, he could not help releasing a murderous chi. This person was Black Tiger's second brother, the Temple Ghost Sect's second sect master. He was known as Shuesho. Those who kill will pay with their lives. Bloodhand suddenly roared. His voice was like a clap of thunder that shook the surrounding 50 kilometers. The huge Idle Cloud Restaurant shook under this explosive roar. Incessant clanging sounds could be heard coming from the restaurant as the wine cups and wine bottles inside shattered. Boom! Following that, all the doors and windows fell to the ground. The sound waves turned them into powder in the air, scattering with the wind. How strong! The crowd, who had already hidden very far away, all calmed down when they heard this roar. It was just one roar, but it nearly caused Idle Cloud Restaurant to collapse. After all, Idle Cloud Restaurant was supported by formations. After everything quieted down, Idle Cloud Restaurant remained quiet, devoid of any sound. Could it be that the white-robed Xiao Chen had already sneaked away and was not in there at all? If someone wants to kill me, I will definitely kill them. No one is an exception. Naturally, the Temple Ghost Sect's Black Tiger is no exception. Just as everyone was feeling bewildered, Xiao Chen's calm and collected reply came from the damaged Idle Cloud Restaurant. Everyone became excited. What a great Xiao Chen! To think that he did not flee. What a great, if someone wants to kill me, I will definitely kill them. Chapter 1599. The Temple Ghost Sect's second sect master roared ferociously, a murderer must pay with his life. His voice shattered the windows of Idle Cloud Restaurant, leaving half of the building damaged. Under such pressure, Xiao Chen responded tyrannically with, "If anyone tries to kill me, I will kill them." He clashed head-on, not backing down at all. "You are seeking death." The Temple Ghost Sect's second sect master snorted coldly and shouted, "Charge in!" I want to let him know the consequences of offending the Temple Ghost sect. Boom! With a furious shout, the many Temple Ghost sect disciples dismounted and charged into Idle Cloud Restaurant. However, the moment they stepped through the doors, a cold aura made them tremble. What kind of feeling was that? His entire body trembled, and the cold energy seeped into his bones, making him unable to move at all. A huge suction containing an irresistible force came over. Horrifying, miserable cries rang out as the Jiao snake swallowed up the group of people, unable to retaliate at all. Such a strange thing caused the group of killing Rakshasa sect members behind to feel a little uneasy. The doors of Idle Cloud Restaurant were like the gates of hell. After they entered, there was only a startled cry, and then there was no more movement. There were no sounds of fighting or cries for help. There was no sound of Xiao Chen and the others speaking. The silence of the environment coupled with the terrifying startled cries felt exceptionally horrifying. Such a scene was equally strange in the eyes of the others. They did not know what Xiao Chen did, much less what happened in Idle Cloud Restaurant. The Temple Ghost sect's second sect master's sullen expression turned extremely complicated. Many of the sect disciples circled the entrance of the restaurant, pacing back and forth, not daring to enter. It was very dangerous inside. No one who went in ever came out again. Clearly, these sect disciples did not dare to enter rashly and send themselves to death. After all, everyone only had one life. Go in 2 by 2. No matter what, you have to tell me what happened in there. The Temple Ghost sect's second sect master was incredibly frustrated. Even he was somewhat startled by the current situation. What was even more despicable was that this happened before everyone. If the second sect master could not kill Xiao Chen, then the Temple Ghost sect would no longer be able to mingle in Purple Sun City. Now, he was anxious to know what had happened inside so that he could deal with it. When the Temple Ghost sect members heard that, they were stunned. They simply did not want to enter Idle Cloud Restaurant. However, when he saw the second sect master's dark face, he could only bite the bullet and charge in. However, the huge Jiao snake in Idle Cloud Restaurant was like a chicken eating rice. Chapter 1600. The Ice Snow Mountain Manor's new talent, the Ice Snow Sword, was killed. As for the Burning Moon sect's new talent, Yen Xian, he was in an even more miserable state. Yen Xian had been frightened into crawling and fleeing with just one look, losing all his dignity. Not only himself, but even the Burning Moon sect had lost face. Yen Xian probably knew that he would not be able to escape punishment when he returned to the sect, so he went missing. Even now, no one knew where he was. A sect's new talent represented that the sect had a successor. When they roamed the world, they represented the face of the sect. However, of the 2 rank 2 sects, one died and the other fled because of Xiao Chen, losing all face. Xiao Chen alone slapped the faces of 2 rank 2 sections. Such a thing would be unacceptable in any sect. Furthermore, the rank 2 sects of the Purple Sun region were overlord-class existences. However, because the sects were too big, there were too many formalities. Since the 2 sects wanted to send people to resolve this matter, they had to discuss who to send, who had the time, who was willing, and who was suitable. The strength of the person to send was very important. Naturally, they had to discuss it carefully. However, the Temple Ghost sect did not have so many worries. They came when they wanted to. Hence, they rushed ahead of the 2 sections. Although the experts of the 2 sects did not come, there were people keeping an eye on Xiao Chen's actions in secret. When the decision was made, the efficiency of the large sects became apparent. The Burning Moon sect and the Ice Snow Mountain Manor arrived at nearly the same time. The Burning Moon sect and the Ice Snow Mountain Manor each sent 100 people. The leaders were major primal core cultivators. The weakest of the 100 disciples was a Yang Essence cultivator. It was clear that these were all elites and experts. The two sects were truly enraged. In the Purple Sun region, a major primal core cultivator could be considered a peak expert. Even in Purple Sun City, major primal core cultivators were rare. Han Feng, unexpectedly, you came personally as well. The leader of the Burning Moon sect, Bai Su, said calmly as he looked at the other party. The Ice Snow Mountain Manners, Han Feng said coldly. I only have this one disciple. I was hoping that he would surpass me and become famous. Now that he was killed, how could I not come? It turned out that these two were the masters of the new talents of their respective sections. They were also in the upper echelons of their sects and were very strong. Although our sects usually have some disputes, why don't we join forces to kill this white-robed Shaochen today? Bai Su of the Burning Moon sect suggested to Han Feng. In the past, people had heard that the two great sects had gathered hundreds of people to deal with a single person. They would definitely think that it was impossible. How could there be such a person that a rank 2 sect would be so cautious? But now, no one was surprised to learn that the person they were going to deal with was Shao Chun. Not long ago, the Temple Ghost sect's 2nd sect master and 3rd sect master, as well as a large group of gang members, had all died at Shao Chen's hands in Idle Cloud Restaurant. All these facts told everyone that Shao Chen was not simple. Sure. Han Feng's eyes flickered for a moment, and he agreed with the Burning Moon sect's Bai Su's decision. From the bottom of his heart, he did not approve of joining forces. To deal with the Essence stage brat, they still needed to work together with others. This was a great humiliation. However, in the current situation, they had no choice but to work together. It was better to be cautious. If he were to fail miserably in such an easy task, it would be a huge joke. Da-da-da. Galloping rang out again. The crowd opened up a path. It was the Temple Ghost sect's Sect Master Yen, charging over with his men. Sect Master Yen raged, killing intent radiating from his entire body. He felt an indescribable depression in his heart. Unexpectedly, a Essence stage brat nearly wiped out most of his Temple Ghost sect. If Black Tiger had underestimated his enemy, then Shao Chen had to be very strong for killing the 2nd sect master's group. Han Feng? Bai Su? Sect Master Shui was greatly startled. He quickly pulled on the reins and withdrew his killing intent. Then, he stepped forward and performed a cupped fist salute. Greetings, elders. The three of them were about the same strength, all early-stage major primal core realm cultivators. However, their statuses differed greatly. No matter how powerful the Temple Ghost sect was among the gangs outside the city, it was an insignificant existence in the eyes of a rank 2 sect. Without an inheritance or accumulations, the Temple Ghost sect was just a group of bandits. Han Feng and Bai Su did not show any good expressions. Bai Su said softly, I heard that your Temple Ghost sect just lost 2 sect masters and more than 100 gang members. Truly a motley crew. More than 100 people did not even get to see the others. Compared to Bai Su, the Ice Snow Mountain Manners Han Feng was even more arrogant, directly mocking them. Sect Master Shui immediately became enraged. He said sullenly, No matter how great the losses of my Temple Ghost sect are, it cannot compare to the losses of the 2 of your sections. One new talent was killed, and the other was in an even worse state. The new talent crawled away like a turtle. You must be tired of living. Han Feng snorted coldly. Suddenly, a frigid cold wind started blowing wildly. Between heaven and earth, the temperature plummeted, and everyone felt an icy chill. Snowflakes drifted down and the cold wind blew. The dancing snowflakes spun around like sharp knives. How strong! The people watching in the distance quickly retreated in a fluster. Who could have expected that Han Feng could easily bring out such a strong will of ice with a thought? This will of ice was already infinitely close to the domain realm. Furthermore, Han Feng's major primal core realm cultivation allowed his veritable essence energy to be continuously refined and refined. Now that it was contained in the snowflakes, it made sense that it gave off such strong pressure. In mere moments, a thick layer of snow blanketed the ground. This clearly showed how vast Han Feng's veritable essence energy was. Humph! Do you think this old man is easy to scare? Not to be outdone, Sect Master Shui released a scarlet light from his body. Together with a strong baleful aura, he quickly clashed with the boundless snowflakes. Enough! Seeing that the two were about to fight, the Burning Moon Sects by Su quickly made a move. A heat wave surged up from the ground, instantly melting everything. Bai Su forcefully suppressed the two's wills. Immediately, Han Feng and Sect Master Shui became cautious. Sect Master Shui snorted coldly. Although my Temple Ghost sect is not an impressive existence, we cannot tolerate being humiliated. Don't think that we are easy to bully. At the very most, I can just run to another astral region. Your Ice Snow Mountain Manor will not care. Seeing that Han Feng was about to fight again, Bai Su quickly said, "Stop. We are here to deal with Xiaochen. Don't let the people in Idle Cloud Restaurant laugh at us." Inside Idle Cloud Restaurant, Luonan, Fei and Xiao So all felt immense pressure. It seemed like the situation was getting more and more chaotic. Not to mention the Temple Ghost sect, two rank 2 sects actually charged over as well. "Big brother Xiaochen, how about we leave first?" Fei suggested in a soft voice. Xiao So shook his head and said, "It is already too late to leave. They have already surrounded Idle Cloud Restaurant. There is no way out." Xiao Chen used his spiritual sense to size up the scene outside. Then, he released his bated breath. Clearly, the rank 2 sects had late-stage major primal core expert. However, there were too few of them. Furthermore, the time of these people was precious. They would definitely not leave the mountain just for one Xiao Chen. Furthermore, they had to guard their sect's territory and could not move casually. The ones that came were all early-stage major primal core cultivators. 3 early-stage major primal core cultivators. The pressure on Senior Jiao Snake increased significantly. However, he could still handle the situation, so there was no need to panic for now. As Xiao Chen expected, the late-stage major primal core peak experts of the rank 2 sects would definitely not come. As for the Supreme Elder of the Cloud Sea Realm, the death of a new talent was not something that could be passed on to the Supreme Elder. Xiao Chen communicated with the Jiao Snake. Then, he said to Xiao Suo and the other two, "With me around, there is no need to panic. Just listen to me." Fei said sullenly, "There is no need to panic. Senior brother and I are just worried about implicating you." When Xiao Chen heard that, he laughed loudly and said, "There is no need to talk about implicating me. We have all gone through trials and tribulations together. If we really reach a dead end, we will definitely live and die together. Killing one is breaking even, and killing two is already a gain." A brilliant light flashed in Xiao Chen's eyes. The hot-bloodedness in his bones blazed as he said, "That's right. Live and die together." Outside Idle Cloud Restaurant, the people of the 3 factions had already surrounded Idle Cloud Restaurant so tightly that not even water could trickle through. For a time, the Idle Cloud Restaurant became an isolated existence on the street. Everyone in the distance broke out in a cold sweat for Xiao Chen's group of 3. With the 2 rank 2 sects working together, Xiao Chen no longer stood much of a chance. At this moment, Sect Master Shui and the other 2 had already reached a consensus under Bai Su's mediation. Whoosh! 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 The 3 soared into the air, and the auras of major primal core experts spread out, encasing the entire Idle Cloud Restaurant. Rumble! The ground trembled. It was like 3 mountains had fallen on Idle Cloud Restaurant, on the verge of collapse. Upon seeing the actions of the 3 experts, everyone exclaimed. They were preparing to use violent means. They wanted to destroy the restaurant together with Xiao Chen. No matter what means they used, they would use their cultivation to suppress them. They would not even be able to enter Idle Cloud Restaurant. Chapter 1601. An indescribable light flashed in her eyes. If the earlier Xiao Chen had only inspired some admiration in her, now, her heart suddenly raced. But at this moment, her heartbeat suddenly sped up, mixed with an indescribable feeling of conflict. Inside Idle Cloud Restaurant, Xiao Chen expressionlessly placed a palm strike on the Jiao snake's body. However, as expected, the scene of Idle Cloud Restaurant collapsing did not happen. If the Jiao snake had succeeded, Xiao Chen's group and Idle Cloud Restaurant would have been crushed to pieces under the combined attacks of the three experts, dying without a grave. In this excellent opportunity to make a move, the three experts did not hold back. Xiao Chen did not hold back much. The scene immediately turned somewhat bloody and cruel. Without the support of the three leaders, everyone was caught off guard and injured by the shock wave. They were caught off guard and injured by the shock wave. Furthermore, Xiao Chen and Xiao Suo suddenly jumped out. This was called suppressing others with one's aura, using pure strength to suppress others. Feng Buyu, the last new talent of the Purple Sun region, appeared at the very last moment, just as everyone was about to forget about him. Who was it that was so strong, able to receive the killing moves of three early-stage major primal core experts at the same time? When Xiao Chen died, that late-stage major primal core expert would definitely choose to leave. The Ice Snow Mountain Manor, the Temple Ghost Sect, and the Burning Moon Sect worked together with three major primal core experts. However, they still could not capture Xiao Chen. A cold, sinister intent spread throughout Idle Cloud Restaurant. The Jiao snake spat out a mouthful of cold qi, forcefully blocking the martial techniques of the three experts. The Ice Snow Mountain Manor, the Burning Moon Sect, and the Temple Ghost Sect suffered heavy casualties. Her pretty, soul-stirring eyes looked at Xiao Chen, whose white robes were stained with blood, holding his saber and facing off against three major primal core experts in front of Idle Cloud Restaurant. However, they did not expect to see such a scene when they arrived. Three experts executing peak martial techniques at the same time was rather rare in Purple Sun City. This concerns my own safety and interest. Stop labeling me as cruel. I, Xiao Chen, have never been an indecisive person. A strong battle hunger surged in Xiao Chen's heart. As he held the lunar shadow saber, a treasure saber that surpassed profound tools, he unleashed his battle hunger, sweeping through everything in his path. Sky burning moon shadow. They instantly felt somewhat confused. What kind of existence was in Idle Cloud Restaurant? Hovering in midair, Han Feng, Bai Su, and sect leader Shui each vomited a mouthful of blood and were sent flying. Such a scene made many people feel deeply shocked, and their hearts thumped non-stop. Saber light flickered and blood splattered everywhere. At this moment, there was only one word: fight. Xiao Chen retorted coldly, "What a joke. If I did not kill them, would I give you the chance to reorganize these people and charge back into Idle Cloud Restaurant? Watch my friends and myself fall into danger?" Then, Sect Master Shui led more than 300 people to surround and kill Xiao Chen. The original owner of the pirate flag was also pushed forward, expressing his desire to take back the pirate flag. Everything seemed reasonable. They were just waiting for Xiao Chen to speak. If someone tries to kill me, I will definitely kill them. On the other hand, Xiao Chen even killed the group of disciples and gang members, dealing a painful blow to them. Kill. If Xiao Chen reorganized himself, he would have strong combat prowess. If he did not take this opportunity to kill his way out, he would be soft-hearted. If he did not do so, he might very well be the next one to die. After a while, Xiao Chen shouted, "Dao! Feng Buyu, what are you doing here?" Not even dregs remained, extremely pitiful. Xiao Chen's words left the three at a loss for words. A figure flashed, and a figure flew out of Idle Cloud Restaurant. His white robes fluttered. It was Xiao Chen. This result was simply unexpected. When the three saw the scene before them, they were startled, their faces filled with shock. Only Xiao Chen stood in front of Idle Cloud Restaurant. His white robes were stained with blood, and his long hair fluttered in the wind. Blood flowed like a river in front of Idle Cloud Restaurant. Countless corpses littered the ground. Of the three factions, the people of the Temple Ghost sect were all dead. The disciples of the Ice Snow Mountain Manor and the Burning Moon sect were all frightened, fleeing in all directions. Boom! Feng Buyu ignored the other party. He looked at Xiao Chen and said, "Xiao Chen, I remember that you bought a pirate banner at the Purple Cloud Pavilion. Now, the seller wants to take it back. We have already negotiated with the Purple Cloud Pavilion, so hand over the pirate banner." The heavy Great Tao energy supported Senior Jiao Snake, instantly breaking the stalemate between the Jiao Snake and the three experts. Han Feng and Bai Su were enraged as well. The Ice Snow Mountain Manor and the Burning Moon sect had not suffered such a huge loss for many years already. That was right. That was what they thought. Was it worth it or not? Far away, in a tall building, Lan Luo covered her mouth in disbelief. To think that Xiao Chen did not show any fear when facing three major primal core cultivators. His aura even increased. Corpses littered the ground, as well as the flowing blood river. No one dared to doubt Xiao Chen's words. Feng Buyu nodded and said, "That's right. My wind-chasing sect can guarantee your safety. At the same time, I will agree to one of your requests." Then, he did not hesitate to make a move, Xiao Chen said indifferently as he swept his gaze across the surroundings. As the three looked at Xiao Chen, they suddenly discovered that this youth gave off a strong aura of someone who had experienced the vicissitudes of life and gone through many trials and tribulations. No one had expected that the three would use such a tyrannical and cruel method to deal with Xiao Chen. However, they firmly held on, not letting any of the energy from the three great killing moves leak into Idle Cloud Restaurant and injure Xiao Chen's group. Xiao Chen could not tell if it was his blood or someone else's. At this moment it was silent. Only the dripping sound of the blood from the two sabers could be heard. Traceless falling snow. You are actually extremely cruel, killing all the people of my Temple Ghost sect. Sect Master Shui's entire body trembled in anger. The Temple Ghost sect that he established with so much difficulty was completely destroyed today. The Ice Snow Mountain Manor and the Burning Moon sect are actually going to submit to a foreigner who came from nowhere? Suddenly, laughter came from the distance. The wind-chasing sect's Feng Buyu led a group of people and appeared here. Behind Feng Buyu was the person in charge of the Purple Cloud Pavilion, the beautiful woman whom Lan Luo addressed as Aunt Bai. She slowly walked out and looked at Xiao Chen softly. "I'm sorry. However, we will return 5 times the spirit jades to you to compensate young Master Xiao Chen for your losses. We can even step forward and deal with the trouble that you are in." The shock waves from the fight between the Jiao Snake and the three experts spread out, injuring most of the cultivators of the three factions surrounding Idle Cloud Restaurant. Don't even think about stepping into Idle Cloud Restaurant. Otherwise, no matter who it is, I will make them pay a heavy price. The things that happened today were sufficient to prove that clashing head-on with Xiao Chen would not end well. Originally, the Burning Moon sects Bai Su roared ferociously. However, the situation now did not seem quite right. The Burning Moon sects Bai Su roared ferociously. The bright moon could no longer be seen in the sky, but the shadow of the moon enveloped Idle Cloud Restaurant and burned fiercely. This was especially so for the Temple Ghost sect. Their members were the weakest. They were practically wiped out in an instant. The expressions of Han Feng, Bai Su, and Sect Master Shui changed at the same time. They all sensed that someone had blocked their killing moves at the same time. They were extremely shocked in their hearts. Xiao Chen stood upright while holding his saber. His scarlet clothes flapped loudly in the wind. An intense clash occurred invisibly. Although the Jiao Snake felt some pressure, it did not feel anything. The killing moves, which should have ended in an instant, entered a stalemate. The three clashed with the Jiao Snake and were forcefully held back. The Ice Snow Mountain Manor's Han Feng drew his sword, and a cold light flickered at the tip. A boundless snowstorm fell silently. Every snowflake spun rapidly. After 15 minutes, the three experts forcefully suppressed their injuries and rushed back to Idle Cloud Restaurant. They should have thought that they might be killed as well. Han Feng, Bai Su, and Sect Master Shui actually hesitated, not daring to attack again. The Ice Snow Mountain Manor's Han Feng, the Burning Moon Sect's Bai Su, and the Temple Ghost Sect's Sect Master Shui, three peak early-stage major primal core experts. Xiao Chen's heart sank. It looked like the secret of the Scarlet Blood War Banner was still exposed. Sect Master Shui roared, and the baleful aura all over his body suddenly gathered, not releasing it. Just as these people followed the three experts and surrounded Idle Cloud Restaurant, preparing to kill Xiao Chen, Han Feng asked coldly with a somewhat unsightly expression. In the earlier exchange, Xiao Chen had already guessed that there should be a late-stage major primal core expert in Idle Cloud Restaurant. The three's plan was for Han Feng and Bai Su to delay that late-stage major primal core expert. All the onlookers felt a chill and broke out in a cold sweat. They were so shocked that they did not know what to say. When Han Feng and Bai Su attacked one after another, the Jiao snake suddenly attacked. A huge palm made of scarlet light ruthlessly pressed towards Idle Cloud Restaurant. Startled cries rang out. The three experts actually got knocked back at the same time. At this moment, the leaders of the three factions were severely injured and sent flying. Most of the cultivators were injured, and their morale fell to rock bottom. This was the best opportunity to make a move. If the three factions continued fighting, even if they managed to kill Xiao Chen, the Ice Snow Mountain Manor and the Burning Moon Sect would have to pay 10 times, even 100 times the price. Whoosh! Whoosh! They attacked at the same time. For a moment, Idle Cloud Restaurant was in a precarious situation. All the cultivators were shocked. These attacks contained horrifying sword intent and veritable essence energy, as well as a cold chill, silently fell in waves, dealing a huge blow to Idle Cloud Restaurant. Right now, these sect members and sect disciples did not seem to have much lethality, but once the three experts recovered, they would definitely be killed. Corpses piled up and blood flowed like rivers. The area in front of Idle Cloud Restaurant turned into hell on earth. Chapter 1603. Everyone present was frightened silly by Xiao Chen's strength. They clearly knew that Xiao Chen was not in a good state right now, coughing with blood. Xiao Chen's complexion was pale, drained of blood. However, no one caught up to him. Even Feng Buyu, who was in perfect condition, was frightened into taking a few steps back. What exactly is Xiao Chen persevering for? Many people started to feel confused. After seeing Xiao Chen's combat prowess after exposing his trump cards, it was clear that he could leave easily. However, why did he remain in Idle Cloud Restaurant, unwilling to leave Purple Sun City? What was Xiao Chen guarding in the mysterious Idle Cloud Restaurant? This was an unsolved mystery, confusing everyone, inspiring wild and fanciful thoughts. Suddenly, Xiao Chen's expression changed slightly. When he looked at the western sky again, the sun had already set. The scarlet setting sun dyed the distant horizon red, covering a large patch of clouds. As the scarlet afterglow fell on Xiao Chen's body, it mixed with his scarlet robes, making him look somewhat miserable. An indiscernible confusion and anxiety flashed in Xiao Chen's eyes. Did I get cheated? The sky is about to turn dark, but the person I'm waiting for still has not appeared. Is Luo Nan really going to die? I don't want to. I really don't want to see this friend I made after leaving the Kunlun realm fall here. I really don't want to see this pair of lovers part forever. All the more, I don't want to see the kind Fei cry over this. To Xiao Chen, love was somewhat extravagant right now. Perhaps it was because he saw in Fei and Luo Nan that he once had with Ryue, or perhaps it was because his original heart still existed, but Xiao Chen stubbornly persisted. Even though Xiao Chen was already very weak, he stubbornly stood in front of Idle Cloud Restaurant, not letting anyone near. The saber hummed endlessly. It was like the lunar shadow saber understood Xiao Chen's stubbornness, the perseverance in his heart, and the pride in his heart. At this moment, the lunar shadow saber hummed endlessly, connected to Xiao Chen's thoughts. The humming of the lunar shadow saber filled the entire place. The strong saber intent shook the entire Purple Sun City. Saber, my Dao, my saber! Ka Xie! At this moment, a certain bottleneck in Xiao Chen's saber Dao suddenly shattered. His Dao realm went from initial glimpse to minor success. The halo of light of the great Dao behind Xiao Chen condensed into a point. Then, it continuously rose, surpassing the bottleneck of 3 feet and reaching a height of 3 meters. Hua! For a moment, in everyone's eyes, Xiao Chen's body seemed to have grown several times taller. The shapeless pressure caused everyone present to feel unbearable, and they had no choice but to retreat once more. At the same time, he couldn't understand what kind of existence this was. Saber intent? Saber soul? Or was it the domain of blades? When Lan Luo, who was far away, saw this scene, she was stunned. This is the power of the great Dao. He comprehended a type of Dao and even increased his cultivation level by a level. What a surprise! I originally thought that such a genius who could comprehend the Dao would only appear in a third-grade sect. Lan Luo's bodyguard and you, who was hidden in the dark, exclaimed in shock. Breaking through in the face of adversity, improving in the face of despair. But what exactly is he protecting? A confused expression appeared in Lan Luo's eyes. Earlier, in Idle Cloud Restaurant, Xiao Chen had lectured her with a cold expression. He said that she did not understand, that there were many things in the world that were more important than her life. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Just at this moment, 3 strong auras suddenly approached from the sky above Purple Sun City. These auras were so strong that they continuously compressed Xiao Chen's overwhelming saber intent, forcing it back to a corner of Idle Cloud Restaurant. This was the immense pressure brought by absolute strength. It had nothing to do with saber intent or great Dao energy. The absolute advantage in cultivation brought absolute suppression. Even though Xiao Chen's Dao had just advanced, he still suffered from this suppression. 3 people landed in front of Idle Cloud Restaurant. Without exception, these 3 old men were all late-stage major primal core cultivators. However, the Jiao snake was slightly weaker than the Jiao snake. The Jiao snake was a peak major primal core expert that had already touched the edge of the Cloud Sea realm. However, the pressure that the Jiao snake gave the Jiao snake was no less than that of the Jiao snake. It was like an ant facing a lion or an elephant. They were both incredibly huge, but to the ant there was no difference. Upon seeing the 3 old men arrive, the remaining disciples of the Burning Moon sect, the Wind Chasing sect, and the Ice Snow Mountain Manor all revealed joy on their faces. Greetings, First Elder. The ones who arrived were all existences second only to the sect masters of their respective sections. The expressions of all the onlookers changed drastically. A late-stage major primal core super expert. Super experts of the late-stage major primal core realm had not appeared in Purple Sun City for many years already. Furthermore, 3 of them appeared at the same time. The Ice Snow Mountain Manor's first elder was a white-robed, white-haired old man. As he stood there, he looked like a block of ice. When he swept his gaze around, it felt like he would be sealed in ice. On the other hand, the Burning Moon sect's first elder wore fiery red, crescent moon robes. His entire body exuded a berserk aura, looking like a volcano as he stood there. As for the Wind Chasing sect's first elder, he wore azure robes. His long hair fluttered continuously like willow catkins. The 3 were very distinct, easily distinguishable. After they landed, they stared at Xiao Chen. Move aside, the white-robed old man said indifferently. The white-robed old man said indifferently. The moment his voice rang out, everyone felt a bone-piercing chill. The chill in one's bones felt like needles pricking one's heart. The tone of the wind chasing sex azure-robed old man turned slightly warmer. Young man, don't hold on anymore. The three of us have already lived for hundreds of years. We are ashamed to fight with you. As long as you leave Idle Cloud Restaurant and vanish from Purple Sun City, we will take it as you never appeared. Big Brother Xiao Chen, let's go. Inside Idle Cloud Restaurant, Luo Nan, Fei and Xiao Suo finally convinced the Jiao snake to come out. Xiao Chen looked at the sky. Although the sun was setting, there was still a sliver of sunlight that had not completely set. Shaking his head, Xiao Chen said, "The sky is not dark yet. It would be too unfortunate to leave now." Luo Nan said sullenly, "Let's go. Brother Xiao Chen, I, Luo Nan, have received your grace and lived until now. I am already very fortunate. I really have no regrets." Fei Er's eyes turned somewhat moist. As she looked at the blood-covered Xiao Chen, she felt heartache. "Big Brother Xiao Chen, let's go. That old man must be lying. He will not come. If senior brother dies, I will feel sad. However, if you die, Fei will feel sad as well." Many people came to a sudden realization. Only now did they understand. It turned out that Xiao Chen did not leave, remaining in Idle Cloud Restaurant to save his friend's life, waiting for someone to appear. However, from the looks of it, he seemed to have been deceived. That person would not appear. Is it because of this, in the tall building, Lan Luo felt stifled, feeling strangely flustered. In front of Idle Cloud Restaurant, Xiao Chen was about to say something when the black lotus mark suppressed by the Buddhist pendant on his chest suddenly erupted. He felt a slight heat on his chest. Invisibly, he felt a person with a similar black lotus mark quickly approaching Purple Sun City. That person must have used his trump card when he attacked repeatedly earlier. Then, he accidentally touched the black lotus mark. In the end, the Black Lotus Church's people sensed it. Xiao Chen revealed a bitter smile. He felt somewhat helpless. Unexpectedly, the person he was waiting for did not show up. However, the person he was waiting for was the malefic star that he did not want to meet the most. How reckless! To think that you still dare to delay even at such a cultivation. Xiao Chen, no matter where you come from, this is the Purple Sun region. Quickly hand over the Scarlet Blood War banner, and scram out of Purple Sun City. The hot-tempered Burning Moon Sect's first elder shouted ferociously. Heat waves surged out, forcing Xiao Chen's group to take a few steps back, unable to block. Interesting. Truly interesting. 3 undying old men are scaring a child, and their faces are not even red. This old man really feels embarrassed for you. Just at this moment, a sloppily dressed old man appeared on a tall building near Idle Cloud Restaurant. This person appeared silently, causing the 3 first elders' pupils to constrict. Their expressions turned strangely grave. Whoosh! The sloppy-looking old man's figure flashed and landed before Xiao Chen. Then, he glanced at Xiao Chen and said, "You said to wait for me for 3 days, and I meant it. I did not misjudge you." Xiao Chen smiled calmly and said, "I did not misjudge you either. The sky is not dark yet, and Senior Lu did not stand me up. Sorry, the things that you wanted were too difficult to find. I wasted too much time. However, I did not let you down and found them all." Senior Lu smiled. Then, he turned around and looked at the 3 old men. "You should all recognize me. However, for the sake of the Scarlet Blood War banner, you will still fall out with me. In that case, bring it on. In any case, I will protect Xiao Chen." Xiao Chen felt a strange warmth in his heart. Senior Lu was just a late-stage major primal core cultivator. Facing 3 of them alone would only result in death. However, Senior Lu did not hesitate to step forward and say that he would protect Xiao Chen. No matter who it was, when meeting such a senior who valued friendship, they would feel warmth in their heart. Senior Lu's thoughts were very simple. For the sake of keeping your promise, your white clothes were stained with blood. This old man is older and stronger than you. How can I be inferior to you? That is all. Who does not know the strongest alchemist in the Purple Sun region? However, Senior Lu, why did you do this? The Ice-Snow Mountain Manor's white-clad old man sighed. The Burning Moon Sect's red-robed old man said coldly, You alone cannot protect him. Rumble. Idle Cloud Restaurant suddenly collapsed. The Jiao Snake's gargantuan body finally revealed itself, appearing before the three old men. What if you include me? Chapter 1604. Suddenly, the Jiao Snake appeared. With its huge body, it looked up at the three first elders. A peak late-stage major primal core ferocious beast? After all, these rank 2 sect elders had seen many things before. The moment they saw the Jiao Snake, they did not get frightened. As for the cultivators watching, they fled in fright, no longer daring to remain on this street. Idle Cloud Restaurant was truly a wondrous place. Anything could happen there. Would anyone believe that a late-stage major primal core ferocious beast appeared? It was like a fantasy story, but now it was happening right in front of them. The people who witnessed this scene all felt that their brains were not working well. The Temple Ghost sect was destroyed, a peak essence cultivator defeated an early-stage major primal core cultivator, a Jiao Snake leaped out of the restaurant where they ate, and the Scarlet Blood War banner reappeared. The series of events that happened today would be incredible if it happened on any other day. No one expected that the death of the Ice-Snow Sword Luophone would trigger so many things. Old Jiao Snake, you are someone who has lived for more than 1,000 years and know the accumulations of a rank 2 sect. If you are wise, ignore the matter before you. Hand over the Scarlet Blood War banner, and everything can be discussed, the Ice-Snow Mountain Manor's white-robed old man said with a calm expression. Gagaga. It is just a rank 2 sect. How deep can its accumulations be? What's wrong? You want to call out the Cloud Sea old monsters of the sect? Do you have the courage and boldness to do so? What's wrong? You want to call out the Cloud Sea old monsters of the sect? Do you have the courage and boldness to do so? The Jiao Snake was very knowledgeable and did not get frightened at all. Indeed, rank 2 sects had Cloud Sea old monsters. However, to a rank 2 sect, such Cloud Sea existences would definitely be extremely old and in closed-door cultivation. He was definitely very old and in seclusion all year round. Unless the sect was at a critical juncture of life and death, he would never come out. Or perhaps they would go out adventuring and search for a way to break through. How was it possible for him to appear so casually? If he came out, if they were not careful, other factions might destroy their sect. That would be a great sin. The Scarlet Blood War banner was very tempting. However, they could not bear the risk of a disaster happening to their sect after they left. Unless Senior Jiao Snake sought death and ran to their sect's headquarters to hunt them down. Otherwise, it would be very difficult for those Cloud Sea old monsters to appear. After all, it was not a rank 3 sect. There were several Cloud Sea realm cultivators, which one could casually come and go. The Cloud Sea realm cultivators of rank 2 sects needed to guard the sect and protect the inheritance. The Jiao Snake's words made the three elders feel stifled. Forget it, let's do it. The Scarlet Blood War banner must remain. The two of you delay the Jiao Snake and Senior Lu. I will deal with this white-clad brat. The Ice-Snow Mountain Manor's white-robed old man had not expected the Jiao Snake to know the human sex so well. However, he still chose to attack decisively. No matter what, after paying such a huge price, he had to keep Shaoqun. If they could hold on for a while longer, the other reinforcements from the 3 rank 2 sects would arrive. Since they were fighting in their own territory, they did not fear the strength of the Jiao Snake. Right after the wind-chasing sect's azure-clad old man spoke, his figure flashed as he charged at the Jiao Snake. He was the fastest, so he was the most suitable to deal with the strongest Jiao Snake. The Burning Moon sect's red-clad old man fought with Senior Lu. Both of them played with fire. When they faced each other, the fight would definitely be very intense. As for the ice-snow mountain manner's white-robed old man, a cold light flashed in his eyes. With a whoosh, he charged at Xiao Chen. Xiao Chen felt an extremely dangerous aura. In the time it took for a spark to fly, he executed the modified fish dragon art. Purple flames flowed on the surface of Xiao Chen's body as he dodged in the air. He relied on his movement technique to tangle with the white-robed old man. Such a late-stage major primal core realm expert could severely injure or even kill Xiao Chen in one exchange. As for Xiao Chen, he only had the dragon blood soul-breaking finger, his only trump card. Attack. Capture Xiao Chen's group of friends. Anti-Bai, who was injured by Xiao Chen, worked together with Feng Buyu to gather the disciples of the Purple Cloud Pavilion and the Wind-Chasing Sect. Then, they charged at Xiao Suo, Fei and Luonan. Bastard! Xiao Suo felt incredibly frustrated. After cursing, he said, "Little girl, come behind me with that lover of yours." At this moment, the situation was urgent. There was no time to think too much. Luonan was injured, and Fei had yet to mature, so she had no choice but to hide behind Xiao Suo. A chaotic battle quickly unfolded. In the completely dark sky, several experts fought fiercely. Between the sky dome, all kinds of lights flashed and shone. Rumble! The area within 50 kilometers instantly turned into rubble in the aftermath of the battle between the late-stage major primal core experts. Even though most of those buildings had formations supporting them, they still could not withstand the attack. It was obvious that the person who escaped first had foresight. Amid the chaotic battle, Xiao Chen's side clearly fell into a disadvantageous position. Xiao Chen executed his movement technique to its limit. However, he found it hard to escape the white-robed old man's grasp. The other party's will of ice was incredibly strong with the support of veritable essence energy. Even if Xiao Chen's ice domain was much stronger than the other party's will, it could not make up for the difference. The moment Xiao Chen's will appeared, the other party's will destroyed it like a storm, injuring him instead. Under the influence of the other party's will, Xiao Chen's movement technique was greatly affected, and his speed plummeted. "Brat, unexpectedly, you are quite good at running." The white-robed old man felt somewhat frustrated. Xiao Chen was as slippery as a fish. Several times, Xiao Chen was clearly about to be caught, but he still managed to slip away. Xiao Chen pushed himself to his limits, not daring to let down his guard at all. Despite his fatigue, he thought hard about how to escape. Right now, only the Jiao snake held the upper hand on Xiao Chen's side. However, the wind-chasing sect's azure-clad old man held back the Jiao snake, preventing it from helping. After all, the azure-clad old man was a late-stage major primal core expert. He could not possibly be defeated so quickly. Furthermore, Xiao Chen could sense that mysterious expert from the Black Lotus Church getting closer and closer to the battlefield. The situation grew increasingly chaotic, becoming increasingly disadvantageous to Xiao Chen. "Caught you!" Whoosh! Suddenly, countless strands of cold qi wrapped around Xiao Chen's feet like formless tentacles, stopping him. The white-robed old man laughed maniacally and threw a palm strike at Xiao Chen. When Xiao Chen looked up from the world that belonged to him, this palm strike seemed to cover the entire sky. Before this palm strike, Xiao Chen appeared extremely insignificant. Cultivation! Cultivation! Compared to this old man, Xiao Chen's cultivation was simply too low. Sharp spirit finger. In the time it took for a spark to fly, Xiao Chen executed the sharp spirit finger. All the energy in his body, 2 cauldron force, veritable essence energy, essence energy, and the mental energy in his sea of consciousness, gathered in this finger strike. The tip of Xiao Chen's finger was unstoppable. As he pointed, it struck the white-robed old man's palm. Pussy! Xiao Chen went flying back and vomited a mouthful of blood. However, a bloody hole appeared in the white-robed old man's palm. Cold chi spread out from the white-robed old man's right palm. The bloody, scarlet hole looked very ghastly. You really have many trump cards. The white-robed old man was slightly stunned. Unexpectedly, Xiao Qin managed to injure him. Taking advantage of the moment the white-robed old man was stunned, Xiao Qin glanced at Xiao Sua's battle. Feng Buyu's group was currently bombarding Xiao Sua with attacks. In just a short while, the wounds and blood on Xiao Sua's body were already very scary. Flawless saber technique, dragon subduing stance. Xiao Qin roared ferociously and swung his saber. The 1,000 dragons gathered into a saber light and chopped down in a berserk manner. When the saber light landed, the sect disciples and Purple Cloud Pavilion cultivators, whose cultivations were not much higher than Xiao Qin's, were all knocked into the air. This immediately alleviated the pressure on Xiao Su. How dare you get distracted before me? Brat, it seems like you are not dying fast enough. The white-robed old man snorted coldly and flung his hand. The surrounding cold chi suddenly intensified. Clearly, he had underestimated Xiao Qin earlier. How cold! Xiao Qin's body trembled uncontrollably. A late-stage major primal core cultivator was truly an undefeatable existence. Should I use the dragon blood soul-breaking finger and fight to the death? However, just at this moment, Xiao Qin's heart suddenly thumped even faster. It's over. The Black Lotus Church's experts are already here. Over there, Xiao Qin looked up and saw a black hole suddenly appear in the sky. A beam of black light quickly flew over from the hole towards the rubble of Purple Sun City's Idle Cloud Pavilion. The instant the black shadow appeared, everyone's hearts skipped a beat, and they felt an indescribable sense of nervousness. Chapter 1605. Xiao Qin could not help feeling disheartened. There was a tiger in front and a wolf in the back. Was he really going to fall here? The main forces of the 3 rank 2 sects were definitely on their way. Since even the first elder made a move, the other elders and elite disciples of the sects would definitely not be idle. However, the 3 first elders were rather fast and arrived early. After all, the Scarlet Blood War Banner was too tempting. No one wanted the Scarlet Blood War Banner to fall into the hands of another rank 2 sect. They would bring out their strongest combat prowess. There was no doubt about this. After that, there were the sect reinforcements. Now, there were the mysterious experts of the Black Lotus Church chasing after him. Xiao Qin did not care about anything else for now, not thinking about the reinforcements of the 3 sections. Right now, the situation was already bad enough. This Ice Snow Mountain Manor's white-robed old man already pushed Xiao Qin to a dead end. Just as Xiao Qin hesitated about whether to fight to the death, the pursuer that he worried about the most appeared at this moment. Does heaven want me to die? As that pursuer approached, the black lotus mark suppressed by the Buddhist pendant released continuously, making Xiao Qin feel like his chest was blocked, burning up uncomfortably. To think that you still have a backup plan. However, just at this moment, the expression of the white-robed old man, who was about to attack Xiao Qin, suddenly sank. Then, he turned around and threw a palm strike at the black light heading for Idle Cloud Restaurant. Bang! The newcomer sent out a black swastika and clashed with the white-robed old man, producing an intense explosion. Blood leaked out of a corner of the white-robed old man's lips. He revealed a grave expression as he soared into the air and took a few steps back. Xiao Qin revealed a surprised expression on his face, feeling somewhat confused. Xiao Qin looked at the newcomer. This person wore black monk robes, had a bald head, and held a Buddhist monk's staff. His facial features were regular, giving off a solemn and dignified air. However, the heavy hostility in his eyes spoiled this dignified air. Buddhist cultivator, who are you? Why are you interfering in the matters of my Ice Snow Mountain Manor? The white-robed old man shouted coldly. However, that black-clad Arhat did not even look at him. Instead, he shifted his gaze and fixed it on Xiao Qin. Xiao Qin's heart skipped a beat. His soul seemed to be frozen for a moment, and he felt a deep sense of fear. At the same time, he instantly understood that the black-clothed Arhat wanted to capture him alive. So the person I was looking for, Headmaster, is actually you. The black-clothed Arhat revealed a look of disdain. The headmaster actually sent out so many people to deal with this ant-like existence. After 3 punches, the flames on the red-clad old man's body seemed to be extinguished by cold water. He stopped and fell to the ground. Just as the black-clad Arhat displayed his might, dense footsteps rang out on the dilapidated street. Dong! 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 The experts and elite disciples of the Burning Moon sect, the Wind-Chasing sect, and the Ice-Snow Mountain Manor rushed over at this moment. Although there were no peak late-stage major primal core experts, there were many of them. The 3 sects had more than 100 minor primal core venerate. The number of half-step primal core and Yang Essence elite disciples was even more uncountable. Form the formation and protect the first elder. Kill this bald monk. Seeing the sorry states of the various sects' first elders, the sect disciples and elders immediately gave the order to surround the black-clad Arhat. The black-clad Arhat calmed down. As he looked at Xiao Chen, who had already gone far away, he trembled in anger. Then, when the black-clad Arhat saw the many primal core venerates surrounding him, he frowned heavily. No matter how strong he was not strong enough to deal with so many people at the same time. More importantly, there were still 3 late-stage major primal core old men currently recovering from their injuries, coldly eyeing the black-clad Arhat. With this, it would be difficult to leave even if I wanted to. Xiao Chen, who had already retreated to the west of the city, executed his heavenly eye. When he saw the heavily surrounded black-clad Arhat in the distance, he relaxed slightly. The black-clad Arhat's strength surpassed Xiao Chen's expectations. He was just an early-stage major primal core cultivator, yet he could kill 3 late-stage major primal core cultivators without them being able to retaliate. This strength was probably even stronger than senior Jiao snakes. Are all the experts of the Black Lotus Church this horrifying? Chapter 1606. As expected, the experts of the 3 sects surrounded the strong and horrifying black-clad Arhat. Even if that black-clad Arhat managed to escape, he would be severely injured and would not be able to chase after Xiao Chen for the time being. However, Xiao Chen could not cheer up at all. Many things weighed heavily on his mind, and his expression was complicated. Clearly, the Black Lotus Church would not send just one person to chase after him. This person should be just a member of the army chasing after him. Furthermore, this person was just an early-stage major primal core cultivator, and he was already so strong. Was the Black Lotus Church really that horrifying? How did Xiao Chen offend such a strong enemy? No wonder the Thunder King said that even if Xiao Chen left the Kunlun realm, he would still die. Why is the Black Lotus Church chasing after me? Big brother, where did your reinforcements come from? How can they be so strong? Xiao Suo asked with a smile after he relaxed and entered the western part of the city. Xiao Chen retorted indifferently, "When did I say that they were my reinforcements? They were not?" When Senior Lu, Fei and Luonan heard that, they all stopped and looked at Xiao Chen in shock. Xiao Chen revealed a bitter smile. Could it be that these people also thought that they were his reinforcements? Although the result was unfortunate, Xiao Chen still told them the truth. That black-clad Arhat was not only not his reinforcements but also his greatest enemy. Ah, little brother Xiao Chen, you are really blessed. To think that you managed to escape even under such circumstances. When Senior Lu heard that, he was stunned for a moment before laughing loudly. Xiao Suo also sighed in amazement. This is really a coincidence. To think that these 2 groups of people actually started fighting. That monk is incredibly stupid. He is so arrogant and cannot be bothered to explain himself to these people. He even thinks that he can forcefully capture Big Brother with his own strength. Xiao Chen shook his head but could not bring himself to smile. Now that his whereabouts were exposed, things would become even more troublesome. Xiao Chen, if I did not see wrong, that monk should be one of the 72 arhats of the Black Lotus Church. How did you offend such a strong person? The Jiao snake asked Xiao Chen, feeling somewhat doubtful. Unable to explain too much, Xiao Chen could only try his best to give a general idea. I also have my doubts about the specific reason. Perhaps we can only capture a member of the Black Lotus Church's upper echelon and interrogate him. Senior Lu smiled embarrassedly and said, "That will be somewhat difficult. The black-clad arhat that appeared earlier is merely one of the 72 arhats of the Black Lotus Church. Above Arhat, the Black Lotus Church still has the 4 great guardian deities and the mysterious Black Lotus Church's sect venerate. You have to capture at least one of the 4 protectors before you can find out the reason. However, any one of the protectors is a Cloud Sea expert." Xiao Chen frowned and said, "I do not have such thoughts for now either. Right now I just want to strengthen myself quickly." Senior Lu seems to understand the Black Lotus Church very well. Senior Lu nodded slightly and replied softly, "I understand a little. This Black Lotus Church had a great origin many years ago. At its peak, it was said to be a rank 7 sect, an existence comparable to the 3 holy lands of the Buddhist sections. It's just that it slowly declined and was suppressed by Buddhism, which is why it's like this now. Although it is now a rank 3 sect, the strength of the Black Lotus Church is no weaker than that of a regular rank 4 sect. Regular rank 3 sects are not strong enough before the Black Lotus Church. This is also why that black-clad arhat is so strong. Sects were divided into 7 ranks, from lowest to highest, from rank 1 to rank 7. Rank 7 sects were considered peak existences. Xiao Chen had not expected this Black Lotus Church to have been a rank 7 sect a long time ago. The black-clad arhat could be so strong mainly because of the accumulations of the sect. The cultivation techniques and martial techniques that he cultivated were much stronger than those of the elders of rank 2 sections. At the same cultivation level, a primal core venerate of a rank 1 sect would definitely be much weaker than a primal core venerate of a rank 2 or 3 sect. This sect is too mysterious. Even if I speak for 3 days, I will not be able to finish. Now that your whereabouts are exposed, you need to leave Purple Sun City quickly," Senior Lu said with a grave expression. Xiao Chen nodded and said, "I know. I'll go to the Pirate Alliance first then." The Pirate Alliance was a neutral land. As long as Xiao Chen entered, the 3 sects would not dare to charge in. However, if Xiao Chen left, the Pirate Alliance would not care. However, it would be enough for Xiao Chen to rest. Clearly, the matter of Idle Cloud Restaurant had already spread to the western part of the city. Along the way, several people looked at Xiao Chen with shock and some malicious gazes. They all knew that the Scarlet Blood War Banner was in Xiao Chen's hands. However, they also knew that Xiao Chen's means were startling, so they did not dare to act rashly. After entering the Pirate Hall without any mishaps, Xiao Chen went to Senior Gui's room. Without saying anything, he handed over the Heavenly Yang Pill's alchemic recipe. After Senior Lu obtained the alchemic recipe, he was pleasantly surprised. His excitement could not be expressed in words. After asking around, Xiao Chen learned that Senior Lu had been unable to make any breakthroughs in alchemy. In the past 10 years, Senior Lu had been searching for all sorts of forbidden medicines to temper his alchemy skills. Furthermore, he was quite fond of forbidden drugs, and had a special interest in them. Hence, when Senior Lu learned that Xiao Chen had the Heavenly Yang Pill, he was startled and readily agreed to Xiao Chen's conditions. Good. It is indeed the Heavenly Yang Pill. This alchemic recipe has been lost for who knows how many years. Unexpectedly, it can see the light of day again. Senior Lu looked at Xiao Chen and said, "I'll accept this alchemic recipe. I'll help you refine the Heavenly Yang Pill as well. At the same time, I can temper my alchemy skills." Xiao Chen rejoiced when he heard that. With Senior Lu helping him refine the heavenly yang pill, his chances of success would increase significantly. This is the source tracing pill. Give it to your friend. It is not considered precious. However, some of the ingredients are extremely rare. You can only use it once in your life. Be careful. Senior Lu took out a jade bottle and handed it to Xiaochen. Fei and Luonan immediately revealed joyful smiles. Xiaochen smiled and said, "Take it, Fei." "Thank you, big brother Xiaochen." "Thank you, Senior Lu." "Thank you, Xiaoso." Fei could not contain her joy. Her baby fat face filled with smiles. Xiaoso rubbed his head and smiled embarrassedly. "Why are you thanking me? I did not do anything." This was the first time a girl thanked him so politely, so he felt somewhat embarrassed. Fei covered her mouth and smiled. "I have to thank you. You were the one who shielded me and Senior Brother earlier. Otherwise, how could I have survived until now?" Luonan's hand trembled as he held the jade bottle containing the medicinal pill. For the sake of this medicinal pill, Xiaochen paid a rather high price. Luonan looked at Xiaochen, not knowing how to express himself. "Big brother Xiaochen smiled and interrupted. "There is no need to say some things. Fei bring Luonan to consume the medicinal pill. The earlier he consumes it, the better the effect." Fei nodded and helped Luonan down. "Xiaochen, I'm going to refine the heavenly yang pill. I'll take my leave first." Xiaochen nodded and sent Luonan off with his eyes. Then, he found a quiet room with Senior Gue and entered closed-door cultivation. After the consecutive battles at Idle Cloud Restaurant, Xiaochen was severely injured and gained a lot. This battle was also the most intense one since he left the Kunlun realm. It could be considered the beginning, but it was definitely not the last battle. Some of his shortcomings in battle were also revealed. Of course, his cultivation was his biggest shortcoming. If he didn't have those heaven-defying trump cards, he wouldn't be able to win. Without those heaven-defying trump cards, Xiaochen would not be able to hold his own against an early-stage major primal core expert. However, trump cards were called trump cards because they could not be used frequently. Xiaochen could not rush his cultivation for now. When Senior Lu refined the heavenly yang pill, he could break through to the yang essence stage. With the 10,000-year-old baleful Yin energy and the heavenly yang pill, Xiaochen could establish a very firm foundation in the veritable personage realm. At that time, he would condense a primal core and shock the world with a single move, far surpassing that of a regular primal core venerate. Right now, Xiaochen's top priority was to consolidate his Dao realm and comprehend the new fish dragon art. Consolidating these two would greatly improve his current combat prowess. In the boundless starry heavens, a white-clad monk held Buddhist prayer beads and stood on a lotus platform, walking in the starry heavens with his eyes closed. Suddenly, this monk opened his eyes. A holy Buddhist light flashed in his eyes, illuminating the pitch-black night sky. "Have you discovered it already? Purple Sun City in the Purple Sun region? I think I'm the closest." The white-clad monk entered deep thought. After a while, a Buddhist light released from the lotus platform, forming a long belt of light. The lotus platform moved at an incredible speed through the starry heavens on the belt of light, rushing towards Purple Sun City. Chapter 1607. In the dilapidated street where Idle Cloud Restaurant was in Purple Sun City, the 50-kilometer-long street was in ruins. The shops and tall buildings along the way had all collapsed. Blood flowed like rivers on the ground, and corpses piled up. A heavy stench of blood lingered in the air. Ga. Many red-eyed vultures circled the city under the night sky, spreading their wings and crying out strangely. They stared at the corpses below, continuously circling, raring to go. The vultures outside the city actually smelled the stench of blood and flew in. This was the first time such a thing happened in Purple Sun City. One could easily imagine how many people had died on the street. Many of the corpses had terrifying saber wounds on them. The hazy saber intent still lingered. However, even more corpses were torn into pieces, a cruel sight to behold. They had been violently blasted until not even bones remained. Formless wisps of broken souls struggled in pain, unable to dissipate. The black-clad Arhat, who was previously unrivaled and swept through the 3 first elders, knelt on the ground in humiliation as he was being escorted. Most of the corpses on the ground were his. For the sake of killing the black-clad Arhat, the disciples of the 3 great sects and the purple cloud pavilion formed a formation and surrounded him, suppressing him heavily. However, he still killed most of them in the end, leaving the street littered with corpses. Who asked you to be arrogant? The surviving cultivators of the purple cloud pavilion and the other sects continuously whipped the black-clad Arhat kneeling on the ground. The black-clad Arhat did not say anything. He only closed his eyes and allowed the whipping to land on his body. Earlier, all of them had fought with all their might. Among the people who died were their friends or fellow disciples. Naturally, their hatred for the black-clad Arhat was incredibly intense. The first elders of the 3 great sects and the purple cloud pavilion's anti-by let these people do as they pleased. What should we do with this bald monk now? Should we kill him or keep him? The Ice-Snow Mountain Manor's white-robed old man asked as a faint murderous intent flashed in his eyes. The Burning Moon sect's red-clad old man replied coldly, "Just kill him. Keeping him alive will only bring trouble. We should keep him alive first. Perhaps he will be of some use to Xiaochen. He definitely did not expect this bald monk to end up in our hands. Isn't he very loyal? Let's detain this bald monk and bring him to the Purple Cloud Pavilion to auction. Given his temper, he will definitely rush over." The wind-chasing sect's azure-clad old man thought of a solution. Antibai nodded and said, "That's a good idea. We'll auction him off as a slave the day after tomorrow. If Xiaochen hides, it'll be troublesome for us to look for him. Let him come by himself, and we'll set up an ambush in the dark." Antibai also had her own plans. Auctioning off a major primal core venerate as a slave would be of great help to the Purple Cloud Pavilion's reputation. A cold smile flashed across the white-robed old man's face. "That's right. Let's do that. This bald donkey has killed so many of our people, so he should at least have some value to us. Otherwise, it would be too easy on him." While they were discussing, they didn't know that the black-robed Arhat who was kneeling on the ground had a sneer on his face, as if he had heard something extremely funny. "All right, it's settled then. We'll imprison this bald monk now and auction him off the day after tomorrow." When Lan Luo saw this scene from afar, she could not help but shake her head. "Young miss, that is the black-clad Arhat of the Black Lotus Church. This group of people is really seeking death. To think that they dare to auction off a black-clad Arhat of the Black Lotus Church, should we advise anti-buy?" When the mysterious guard hidden in the dark saw this, he laughed hoarsely, feeling speechless. A cold light flashed in Lan Luo's eyes. She said indifferently, "There's no need. I already see through her. If she wants to seek death, let her be." Previously, when Feng Biu sought out anti-buy, she immediately sold out Xiaochen. This had flabbergasted Lan Luo, rendering her speechless. Lan Luo had already advised anti-buy many times, but it was useless. Instead, she reprimanded anti-buy for not understanding business and not having sufficient experience. "Now I finally understand why the clan gave up on this place. They are just a group of people chasing their own interests, completely forgetting the existence of the clan." Heavy disappointment flashed in Lan Luo's eyes. "And you said softly that Xiao Chen actually managed to form a relationship with the Black Lotus Church. He is truly incredible. No matter how I look at him, he seems like an outstanding talent with a great desolate Ian bloodline. However, I just can't tell." Lan Luo was not surprised. Aside from the strongest 100 races, the great desolate Ian bloodline still has some secondary bloodlines. Back then, during the great desolate Ian, when the 10,000 races fought, not all went extinct. Some bloodlines have been passed down, but they are not as famous as the great desolate Aeon's 100 races. No wonder. And you nodded gently. So, that was the case. However, the two were mistaken. Shao Chen's bloodline was one of the strongest 100 races of the great desolate Aeon. However, the Blue Dragon bloodline had been extinct for too long, so most people did not have any impression of it. When the sky was about to brighten, Shao Chen came out of closed-door cultivation and saw Senior Gui, who had just returned from a busy day. When Senior Gui saw Shao Chen, he was stunned. The other party had a strange Dao on him. The strong aura dazzled Senior Gui. What the heck is this? The legendary Dao? This was especially so for Shao Chen's eyes. They were bright and untainted, like gems in the starry sky, filled with charm and boundlessly deep. With just one glance, one would feel like they were about to sink in. Shao Chen's comprehension of the Saber Great Dao had completely stabilized his Saber Great Dao's second realm. This gave off an extraordinary feeling. After one night of closed-door cultivation, Shao Chen thoroughly absorbed the comprehensions from the battle at Idle Cloud Restaurant, stabilizing his hard-earned second realm of the Great Dao and the new Fish Dragon art movement technique. This could be considered a complete rebirth. However, Shao Chen knew that this was far from enough. He still needed to raise his cultivation. Only then could he truly fight against a major primal core venerate without using his trump cards. Of course, fighting with a late-stage major primal core expert was still a long way off. Senior Gui, has Senior Lu come out of closed-door cultivation? Shao Chen asked with a relaxed expression. Senior Gui recovered his wit. Then, he said with a strange expression, I'm not sure. Several explosions came from his side last night. I went over to take a look, but he did not let me in. I wonder what happened in there. Failed? This was within reason and not surprising. Refining medicinal pills was not guaranteed in the first place. Furthermore, this was the Heavenly Yang pill, a forbidden medicine that had been lost for many years. I'll go and take a look. Right now, Shao Chen could not come to a final conclusion. So, he calmed his emotions and headed for the refining room where Senior Lu was. Go on then. The modification of that pirate ship is at the final stage. I cannot delay for too long either. Senior Gui had a strong sense of responsibility. After receiving Shao Chen's spirit jades, he had been working hard. When Shao Chen arrived at Senior Lu's refining room, he smelled a burning stench coming from a crack in the door before he even entered. Little brother Shao Chen, you are here. Come in quickly. Senior Lu's excited voice came from inside. When Shao Chen pushed the door open and entered, he saw that the place was a mess. All the tools were shattered, and berserk baleful yang energy spread in the air. Dust filled the room. Shao Chen fanned himself with his hand and saw that Senior Lu was in tatters, his hair charred, and his face covered in wounds. Shao Chen felt slightly stunned before asking, the furnace exploded? Senior Lu showed a somewhat embarrassed expression as he nodded. It exploded 3 times, and you saw the results. Furnace explosions were something that only low-ranked alchemists would do. When the pill flame was not properly controlled, it would detonate the pill furnace. This was commonly known as a furnace explosion. There would definitely be failures when refining alchemy. However, a skilled alchemist would not cause a furnace explosion. Furthermore, after a furnace explosion, the destruction and danger that resulted were uncontrollable. When Shao Chen saw the situation, he knew what happened. However, he had not expected that the furnace would explode 3 times in one night. Senior Lu, there is no need for you to work so hard. Are you all right? Shao Chen found this incredibly strange. This was truly too much of a risk. Senior Lu did not care about his life at all. However, Senior Lu laughed loudly, not caring at all. He pulled Shao Chen forward somewhat excitedly and said, I'm fine. I feel like I'm about to break through my bottleneck. Your Heavenly Yang pill is done. Look. Xiao Chen looked in the direction of Senior Lu's finger and saw a bright white medicinal pill in an incomplete brocade box in the corner. Perfect flame patterns covered the surface of the medicinal pill, flickering with a glassy golden light. Occasionally, a strong light flickered. The piercing light nearly deterred Xiao Chen from looking directly at it. Xiao Chen could not help feeling excited in his heart. The heavenly yang pill really succeeded. Furthermore, it was of perfect quality. When Senior Lu saw Xiao Chen's expression, he revealed a satisfied smile. Anyone who saw their medicinal pill garnering the attention of others would feel satisfied from the bottom of their heart. Chapter 1608. A vast scarlet light leaped before Xiao Chen, looking extremely shocking. Xiao Suo exclaimed excitedly when he saw Xiao Chen arrive on the deck. He laid a total of 3 formations. One is the Dark Night Bewildering formation used to hide the ship. One is the Pirate Alliance's 3-star defense formation. The last one is incredible. Xiao Chen held the formation plate and thought for a while. Then, he looked at Xiao Suo and said, "He did not say anything about this. Don't ask either. Just act as if nothing happened." It was like an ancient ferocious beast roaring, thirsting for blood and souls. Fortunately, Xiao Chen had already left and did not know about this. If he did, he would definitely laugh his head off. After Xiao Suo stabbed the pirate flag with the black scimitar, he turned his head and said, "Big brother, Senior Gui is really interesting. This ship looks like a mediocre pirate ship, pitifully small. In reality, it is just a miniaturized 3-star pirate ship. It would have no problem traveling in the real Starry Sea." This was different from what Xiao Chen expected. After the modifications, the pirate ship became even smaller. When Xiao Chen arrived at the secret underground room where Senior Gui modified the pirate ship, he saw a vast lake below. The lake in the west of the city was densely packed with this pirate ship. Xiao Chen turned around and smiled as if nothing had happened. "Very good. I can tell that Senior Gui is very considerate. However, don't get happy too early. This fellow has a huge appetite. Even for you, lighting up a pearl is extremely difficult. The further you go, the higher the grade of the ferocious beast you need." "I understand." Xiao Suo nodded to indicate his understanding. On the pirate ship, Xiao Suo and his subordinates were busy listening to Senior Ghost's commands. Xiao Chen's eyes lit up. He had not noticed this detail. "Let's put this matter aside first. Senior will explain it to me in detail later. I'll go to Senior Gui's place and see how the modification of the pirate ship is going." Xiao Chen entered deep thought and temporarily accepted this suggestion. If he could obtain the protection of this Senior Yizifeng, he would be able to obtain a lot of benefit. To Xiao Chen, this would be excellent. He would be able to get rid of a mental problem. Senior Lu laughed loudly and said, "Good, I'll accept this favor. Brat, if you are lucky and can escape this calamity from the Black Lotus Church, your future will be limitless. I have to accept this favor." The formation plate was pure black with a protruding ferocious beast carved on it. It looked ferocious, glaring at Xiao Chen. A mysterious small sword hung at the corner of its mouth, looking like it was alive. "This is..." Xiao Chen keenly sensed that the scarlet light on the formation seemed to be the blood of a real ferocious beast. Senior Gui nodded and said, "That's true. After offending the Black Lotus Church, it is best to leave early. If you want to leave, you can leave at any time. The ship has been modified." After Chen received the formation plate of Xiao Chen said, "I Xiao," and said, "Chen, Chen, when can Chen Chen, he I Chen can Xiao Chen Chen can Chen Chen can," and said, "When can Chen Chen I of." Just at this moment, news came from the Purple Cloud Pavilion that they wanted to auction a major primal core realm slave. At the same time, he secretly spread the word that this was the black-robed Arhat related to Xiao Chen, and his strength was extremely high. "All right, then it's settled. However, have you thought about where you want to go?" Elder Lu asked a very practical question. This immemorial demon soul formation was likely a formation from a pirate king's legendary warship. If that pirate king learned of Xiao Chen's unique formation, if he didn't have the Sky Sun pill, he would have to disperse his cultivation and force out some of the 10,000-year baleful Yin energy. Purple Sun City was no longer safe. Now, he had already made up his mind to leave. In that world where Lu Ryua lived, the competition was unimaginably intense. Xiao Suo extended his hand, took out the array plate at the core of the array, and handed it to Xiao Chen. The other pirate ships also had such weapons. The consequences would be dire, even more terrifying than offending the Black Lotus Church. It was pitch black all over. The color should be a special paint. However, how precious was Xiao Chen's time? How could he afford to waste it? He urgently needed to raise his cultivation and strengthen himself, so that he could find a place for himself in this great thousand realms. Xiao Chen did not delay for long. He asked about his junior sister Luo Nan's preparations. Since the two of them were willing to follow Xiao Chen, he let them be. If Xiao Chen had time, he could slowly wait and search for fortuitous encounters. Xiao Chen nodded slightly and walked over to Xiao Suo. At this moment, the other party was fiddling with the banner of the Black Scimitar, appearing excited and somewhat serious. This was Senior Gui's secret base. Outsiders could not enter. Xiao Chen's Yin essence realm absorbed 10,000-year-old baleful Yin energy. It would be very difficult to find matching baleful Yang energy. Many thanks. Just the major primal core experts of the Black Lotus Church were already terrifyingly strong, inspiring fear. However, would others help Xiao Chen? Elder Lu was open-minded and did not bother with trifles, not standing on ceremony as he accepted Xiao Chen's favor. Xiao Chen frowned slightly, revealing a troubled expression. Our destination is Ancestor Dragon City. However, it is difficult for me now as well. Shaking off the Black Lotus Church's pursuit is the most important problem. Xiao Chen pushed off with his feet, and a faint flame flashed on his body. It looked like he teleported as he appeared on the deck, startling everyone. This startled Xiao Chen. He whispered, "What is the background of this Senior Gui?" Xiao Suo replied in a similar whisper, "I don't know much. However, I once accidentally heard him mention that he was once a formation master on a 9-star pirate ship. However, when that 9-star pirate ship's captain advanced further and became the Pirate King, he left." Xiao Suo had also dabbled in the formation Dao. With one glance, he could tell that this immemorial demon soul formation before him had an extraordinary background. It was astonishingly powerful. Furthermore, it was an evil Dao formation. Right now, none of these pearls have lit up. The Yazi Beast Demon Soul is only as strong as a peak major primal core cultivator. However, it still possesses a ferocious might and cannot be underestimated. Senior Gui handed the formation plate back to Xiao Chen. When he noticed Xiao Chen's expression, he smiled and said, "Don't worry too much. This formation plate was given to me by the original owner. It has been gathering dust in my hands for more than 100 years. Now, it is time to give it to a fated person. I hope that you can really light up the 18 pearls in the future. Big brother, quickly come up and look at this ship." "Ah." Xiao Chen smiled and said, "If there is an opportunity, I will definitely drink to my heart's content with Senior Lu, having a few drinks to my heart's content." Senior Gui walked over and took the formation plate from Xiao Chen's hand. Then, he pointed to the pearls on the ferocious beast's neck and said, "Do you see these 18 pearls? When all 18 pearls light up, the Yazi Beast Demon Soul will be able to burst out with 1/10 of its combat prowess when it was alive." Fortunately, most of the existing pirate kings were adventuring in the Forbidden Seas. She was striving for the highest honor of a legendary pirate king. She did not have time to care about a minor character like Xiao Chen. "Greetings, Captain. Little brother Xiao Chen, what do you think of this immemorial demon soul formation?" Footsteps rang out from behind, and Senior Gue walked down with a smile. The entire bottommost layer was covered in blood-red formation patterns. Light leaped around the complicated patterns, dazzling one's eyes. In the starry heavens, these formations were hard to see with the naked eye, nearly merging with the night sky. Anyone with eyes would know that the Purple Cloud Pavilion wanted to force Shao Chun to show himself, to make him take the initiative to deliver himself to them. Shao Chun, how about you go to the Grave Sea first? I know that Pan Huang's master has a nominal disciple, Yi Zifeng, who is in a sect in the Grave Sea. The Jiao snake seemed to know what Shao Chun was worried about. It explained, it's fine. You can be considered half a disciple of Pan Huang. That person is still your senior brother in name. Furthermore, I know that person. If you expose your relationship with Pan Huang, he will definitely not leave you in the lurch. Xiao Suo smiled mysteriously and led Shao Chun into the ship's hold. Then, they passed through a partition and arrived at the bottommost layer of the pirate ship. The heavenly yang pill was refined by condensing 100,000-year-old strands of baleful yang qi along with other natural treasures. Xiao Suo said, "This is the Yazi, a famous ferocious beast from the great desolate Aeon. It has an unyielding nature and loves to fight. It has the head of a dragon and the body of a leopard. Senior Gui's formation is based on the famous Great Desolate Heaven swallowing formation of the Great Desolate Aeon. Big brother, you can call it the immemorial demon soul formation." Shao Chun put away the heavenly yang pill and looked sincerely at Senior Lu. "Senior Lu, Shao Chun owes you a big favor. In the past, I thought that he was just bragging after drinking too much. Now that I look at this immemorial demon soul formation, it might not be fake." That evening, Shao Chun's group boarded the pirate ship and quietly left Purple Sun City. Shao Chun nodded and said, "I know that. I'm preparing to pack up. After Senior Gue helps me modify the pirate ship, we will leave immediately." When the busy crew saw Shao Chun, they were stunned for a moment. Then, they immediately reported respectfully. Shao Chun asked curiously, "What do you mean? Come with me." Clearly, Shao Chun's earlier shock was no less than Shao Chun's. As long as we continuously pour in the corpses of strong ferocious beasts, they have to be fresh. This immemorial demon soul formation will continuously strengthen. The Yazi beast demon soul that it summons can even possess a tenth of the true body's strength. Shao Chun felt excited. Pan Huang's disciple was definitely very strong. Perhaps he could help Shao Chun block the Black Lotus Church's pursuit and avoid this calamity. Due to the balance of yin and yang, Shao Chun could form a primal core. Otherwise, he would never be able to break through. If he obtained it, he could obtain baleful yang energy that rivaled a 10,000-year-old baleful yang energy. To Shao Chun, this was a better natural treasure than anything else. Just as Shao Chun was about to finish speaking, Senior Lu's expression slowly turned grave. He said, however, "I suggest that you leave as soon as possible. The Black Lotus Church's people will soon find out about your whereabouts. The earlier you leave, the safer you will be." Furthermore, no matter how Shao Chun looked at this formation, it felt very sinister and sinister, inspiring fear. Chapter 1609. Early the next morning, when sunlight shone on Purple Sun City, a Buddhist light accompanied the sunrise and landed in Purple Sun City. The Buddhist light dispersed like a lotus flower, revealing a spotless white-clothed monk. His appearance was delicate and handsome, like a green lotus that was extraordinary and refined. If it were a crowded place, the noise might immediately stop because of his appearance. His natural tranquility could infect everyone. Unfortunately, he had landed on the dilapidated street where the Idle Cloud restaurant was located. The heavy stench of blood had yet to fade. That place had already become the famous ghost street of Purple Sun City. Legend had it that one could hear ghostly wails and wolf howls in the middle of the night. No one was even willing to clean up the corpses. The prosperity faded away, leaving behind only an endless pool of blood and the bare bones of the corpses that had been eaten by the vultures. The white-clad monk held Buddhist prayer beads in his hand as he looked around with his deep, pitch-black eyes. After a while, he closed his eyes and chanted scriptures. His right hand formed the Buddhist bemoaning the state of the universe and pitying the fate of mankind, and his left hand spun the Buddhist prayer bead. A holy Buddhist light spread out from his body, looking like a peaceful holy light. When the light swept through the air, the baleful aura in the air immediately expelled it. The air filled with the stench of blood became fresh again. Clumps of white light drifted out of the many corpses. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The countless aggrieved spirits of the corpses turned into beneficence and entered his body. When he opened his eyes, they flickered with a bright and pure light. This made his eyes look even deeper, pure, and flawless. Then, he stretched out his right hand and his gentle, fair fingers moved. The bemoaning the state of the universe and pitying the fate of mankind turned into the Buddhist appearing seal. The scenes that the aggrieved spirits once saw appeared, flickering on the dilapidated street. Soon, the white-clad monk found the scene he needed. It was the scene of Shao Chen fighting with the crowd, continuously killing his enemies. The scene changed again. The black-clad Arhat was escorted by a group of people, kneeling on the ground and continuously whipped, enduring all sorts of torture without saying a word. On the other side, Auntie Bai and the three old men quickly discussed and decided to sell it. When Auntie Bai understood what was going on, she revealed a smile on her face, showing an interesting expression. Scatter! The white-robed monk let out a soft groan. The souls that he had just absorbed into his body and cleansed of their sins turned into streaks of light and flew out of his body. Surprisingly, he didn't want the pure vengeful souls, but instead released them. If a Buddhist was here, he would definitely be shocked. When Buddhists cultivated, what they sought was merit and faith. What did he seek by not seeking merit and converting others for free? Only if one looked carefully would they discover that as those souls left, there were more than 10 of them. His eyes and fleshly body seemed to have been cleansed, becoming purer and more peaceful. It's a pity that we missed such a good opportunity. The white-robed monk let out a sigh before turning into a ray of light and disappearing. The originally oppressive, gloomy, and dilapidated streets that were filled with a bloody and baleful aura had taken on a brand new look, and it was like a place that had just been born and was filled with a thriving aura. Today was the day that the Purple Cloud Pavilion would auction off a major primal core venerate. After one day of fermenting, the news had already caused a huge commotion in the entire Purple Sun City. Auctioning off slaves was not unheard of. However, the people of Purple Sun City auctioning off a major primal core venerate was unheard of, never seen before. If one could imagine having a major primal core venerate as a slave, that would be a great feeling. Nearly all the rich and noble people in the city rushed over, preparing large amounts of spirit jades to bid for the auction. There were even more cultivators who came to watch the excitement. Even if they could not afford to buy it, they could still broaden their horizons and watch the excitement. Furthermore, rumor had it that this black-clad Arhat had a close relationship with Shao Chen. This auction was a scheme by the three sects and the Purple Cloud Pavilion. They wanted to wait for Shao Chen to appear and make him walk right into the trap. Given how Shao Chen protected Idle Cloud Restaurant for his friends and fought many battles, many people guessed that this was a trap. Even if Shao Chen knew that this was a trap, a fire pit, he would still rush over. The only reason was that he was Shao Chen. This person had only been in Purple Sun City for a few days, but his name had spread everywhere. Everyone knew the name of the white-robed Shao Chen. Most of the people watching the excitement were actually here for him. In a corner of the upper floor of the Purple Cloud Pavilion, Auntie Bai and the three elders of the Burning Moon sect, the Ice Snow Mountain Manor, and the Wind Chasing sect looked down, clearly seeing everyone in the hall. Damn it! That fellow has not appeared yet. The Ice Snow Mountain Manor's white-robed old man frowned, feeling somewhat impatient. The azure-clad old man said, "Don't worry. He will definitely appear. However, he will definitely be able to hide from our eyes and ears. If we discovered him so easily, he would not be Xiao Chun. The pretty Auntie said through clenched teeth, as long as that fellow appears, this purple cloud pavilion will be his burial ground. I already sent out all the experts of the purple cloud pavilion to hide in various places. Aside from this, the three sects also reorganized their forces, transferring over experts from their sections. Not only were there people everywhere in the purple cloud pavilion, but there were also disciples of the various sects lying in wait outside the purple cloud pavilion. As long as Xiao Chun appeared, he would not be able to escape. This was a sure-death situation. Let's start the auction. I don't believe that he will not appear, the Burning Moon sect's red-clad old man said coldly. The white-robed old man nodded and made a hand gesture. Immediately, someone started to make arrangements in secret. Everything went according to plan, moving quickly and methodically. Soon, the black-clad Arhat was pushed out. His entire body was bound in chains, and he appeared on the platform in a humiliating manner. Whoosh! The crowd immediately turned excited. All sorts of startled cries rang out endlessly. It really was a major primal core venerate. The Purple Cloud Pavilion's announcement was true. Many potential buyers immediately felt tempted. The auctioneer smiled and said, "As everyone knows, today is a big day for my Purple Cloud Pavilion. The venerate tied up on the platform will be auctioned off. Everyone, please do not worry about safety. The experts of the three sects have already placed restrictions in his body. As long as he resists, he will explode and die. Whoever is his master will control his life and death. Even if he does not want to submit, he will have to submit. My Purple Cloud Pavilion's reputation has always been excellent. Everyone can bid without worry." Under the auctioneer's introduction, the auction quickly entered the bidding phase. The price soared, making everyone feel the enthusiasm and determination of the bidders. However, the expressions of the four people in the upper echelon slowly turned unsightly. Even now, everything was still calm. Xiao Chun still had not appeared. Just at this moment, a white figure arrived outside the Purple Cloud Pavilion. As he stood on the street, he looked extraordinary and graceful. His white monk robes and handsome face combined with his gentle and serene aura attracted the attention of everyone on the street. "What a handsome monk!" Several girls could not help praising him, attracted by his face. This showed how charming he was. The white-clad monk looked at the Purple Cloud Pavilion. His deep gaze inspired wild and fanciful thoughts. No one knew what he wanted to do. Suddenly, the white-clad monk stretched out his right hand with his palm facing down. His index and middle fingers curled together, and Buddhist prayer beads hung from them, forming a profound hand seal. His jade-white, untainted hand was filled with a gentle beauty. Everyone fixed their gazes on that pure white right hand. Everyone was attracted by that profound hand seal, unable to look away. All of a sudden, a golden swastika symbol burst out from the palm seal. Boom! Amid the boundless golden Buddhist light, the vast, simple, and imposing Purple Cloud Pavilion instantly collapsed. The people inside were still excitedly bidding the moment before it collapsed. Auntie Bai and the others in the upper echelon were still waiting anxiously. Without any warning, the Purple Cloud Pavilion collapsed into rubble. Countless people died or were injured in the process. Countless corpses exploded into pieces and shot into the air. Amidst the golden Buddhist light, blood rained down. Severed limbs flew up and down in a dazzling display. The people around the Purple Cloud Pavilion showed shocked expressions. Their brains instantly short-circuited. They could not react at all. In the next moment, the shock wave sent them flying. The white-clad monk withdrew his hand, and his lips moved slightly as he chanted a scripture. As the scripture chanted, the restrictions on the bodies of the black-clad Arhat buried in the rubble unraveled one by one. "Who are you?" Auntie Bai and the other three descended from the air in shock and rage, surrounding the white-clad monk. Blood trickled down the corners of their lips, and their complexions paled. The white-clad monk smiled faintly and stopped chanting. Then, he said softly, "The Black Lotus Church's holy son, Ming Xian." The expressions of the three sects' first elders and anti-by changed drastically at the same time. Their expressions changed continuously: shock, astonishment, horror, and panic. The encirclement around the white-clad monk loosened uncontrollably. They retreated, feeling fear in their hearts, wanting to retreat. Die. However, it was too late for them to leave now. A black figure leaped out of the rubble, radiating Buddhist might. With a shout, he charged at the four while holding the black chain in his hand. Chapter 16:10. This time, the black-clad Arhat did not show any mercy. With the support of the scripture, the Arhat did not show any mercy. With the support of the scriptures, not only did he recover from his injuries, but his combat prowess also increased by more than 20%. Anti-Bai and the others were injured by the holy sun Ming Xian in the first place. Their combat prowess had dropped significantly. Furthermore, they were already a match for the black-clad Arhat in the first place. This time, the four were not as lucky as before. They could not escape and all died at the hands of the black-clad Arhat. Their deaths were extremely miserable, all inflicted by the iron Arhat fist. Their bodies split apart and they died without a complete corpse. The holy sun Ming Xian chanted scriptures and prayed for the souls of these people. Then, he used pure beneficence to cleanse his physical body, making his aura gentler and more solemn, like a living Buddha. 59th Arhat greets the holy sun. The black-clad Arhat performed a cupped fist salute and bowed, not daring to slack off. The 72 Arhats were ranked by strength. 59th Arhat was the 59th of the 72 Arhat. This was not just their title but also their honor and strength. The holy sun Ming Xian nodded slightly and said calmly, "Do you have any news of the person Master is looking for? Tell me everything you know." Yes. After a while, the holy sun Ming Xian gained a better understanding of what happened. He could not help feeling that it was a pity. He clearly could have captured Shao Chen. How could this 59th Arhat be too arrogant and overestimate his own strength? Not only did he fail to capture Shao Chen, but he even ended up losing himself, nearly being sold as a slave. "Holy Sun, please punish me." The black-clad Arhat lowered his head and admitted his guilt, knowing that he was wrong in letting Shao Chen go. Ming Xian showed a calm expression, not showing any signs of anger. He said calmly, "Let's make up for our mistakes. Now that we know his whereabouts, there is no need to search for a needle in a haystack." The 72 Arhats and the 4 protectors were scattered throughout the vast Grave Sea cluster. Searching for one person was no different from searching for a needle in a haystack. Now that they knew Shao Chen's whereabouts, they could gather their people. Then, finding Shao Chen would not be difficult. Bringing the black-clad Arhat with him, the holy sun Ming Xian went to the Wanxiang Pagoda in Purple Sun City. That was the place where the wise gathered the most in the entire Great Thousand Realms. The Wanxiang Pagoda was the most convenient way to find out about a person in Purple Sun City. After paying a sufficient price, the holy sun Ming Xian and the black-clad Arhat found where Senior Lu was hiding. Shao Chen must have run away. The only thing he could do now was to find out where Shao Chen had gone. It would take a lot of time to ask the pagoda about such a secret matter, so asking Elder Lu, someone who had a close relationship with Shao Chen, was the most direct and effective method. In a rather remote courtyard in the west of the city, the holy sun Ming Xian knocked on the door and waited. Since a guest came to visit, Senior Lu did not overthink it. There were not many people in Purple Sun City that he feared. The instant Shao Chen opened the door, he saw the holy sun Ming Xian dressed in white monk robes. "You are Black Lotus Church's holy son, Ming Xian." Elder Lu's expression changed slightly. He turned around and retreated without any hesitation. However, it was already too late. The black-clad Arhat was faster than him. The holy sun Ming Xian waited quietly. The sounds of intense fighting came from the courtyard for a long time before it slowly quieted down. 4 hours later, the black-clad Arhat walked out of the courtyard, carrying a sword. He said, he went to the grave sea. As for where exactly, this old man is not sure. Grave sea? The area is already small enough. Inform the other Arhats and the 4 protectors to gather at the grave sea. The 2 turned around and quickly left this place. Inside the dilapidated courtyard, Senior Lu lay on the ground. His eyes appeared confused and unfocused. Clearly, Senior Lu had fallen for some Buddhist sect's secret technique that lured him into revealing Xiao Chen's whereabouts. In the blink of an eye, 2 months passed. Relying on the speed of a 3-star pirate ship, Xiao Chen's group arrived at the grave sea much earlier than expected. As the name suggested, the Starry Sea was the sea formed by the melting of a star at the end of its lifespan. However, in reality, it was not that simple. There would be a starry sea in the center of every astral zone. The thousands of great realms in the astral zone would revolve around the Starry Sea, using it as the core. Even now, the existence and origins of the Starry Sea remained an unsolved mystery. There were many different theories. The most popular theory was that the star's lifespan ended and melted into a sea. A star was the center of an astral zone. The peak sects of the entire astral zone gathered here. The places where spiritual energy gathered were 5 to 10 times that of the outside world. Most of the spirit jade veins also gathered in the grave sea. Everything was logical, as if the heavens had arranged it. The Starry Sea was the center, the core of an astral zone. To pirates, the Starry Sea was where they should go. Pirates who had not explored the Starry Sea before could not be considered true pirates. The sea was the true home of pirate. Of course, aside from emotions, the greater truth was that plundering the Starry Sea was the greatest harvest. In 2 months, Xiao Chen finished refining the heavenly yang pill. Then, he continuously used the baleful yin energy and baleful yang energy to temper his veritable essence energy. Be it baleful yin energy or baleful yang energy, these 2 external objects existed to temper his veritable essence energy. He could not put the cart before the horse. Xiao Chen's comprehension ability was extremely high. Furthermore, he had comprehended the Taiji Dao himself. Hence, he was very proficient in this cultivation realm. With the veritable essence energy, the yang energy and yin energy in Xiao Chen's dantian formed a Taiji diagram. Such a situation had never happened to anyone before, as only Xiao Chen understood the Taiji Dao in this world. The balance of yin and yang that ordinary people found hard to grasp did not hinder Xiao Chen at all. He just went with the flow. Xiao Chen's cultivation surpassed the yang essence stage and reached the half-step primal core realm in one go. Vaguely, Xiao Chen also touched a threshold to the state of being one with heaven that only primal core venerates could comprehend. One could say that Xiao Chen's strength had improved by leaps and bounds in the past 2 months. Compared to when he was in Purple Sun City, his combat prowess was several times stronger. The strong accumulations benefited him greatly. When Xiao Chen broke through to the primal core realm, it would be a qualitative breakthrough. The benefits of vast accumulations would benefit him for life. In the past 2 months, Xiao Suo, Luonan, and Fei had all improved. Although their improvements were not as exaggerated as Xiao Chen's, they were still several times greater than usual. Naturally, all this was due to the many resources Xiao Chen had bought from the Pirate Alliance before he left, spending spirit jades to purchase for them. The pirate ship drifted quietly in the Starry Sea, sailing far away and advancing quickly. The water in the Starry Sea was not seawater in the ordinary sense. It was strongly corrosive and horrifying heavy. When ordinary people fell into the water, they would melt into dregs, leaving nothing behind. The speed of regular cultivators would also be greatly restricted in the Starry Sea. It would be extremely difficult to fly in the air. Due to the huge mass, the suction force was extremely horrifying. It would make people in the air feel like the surface of the water had a magnetic force, sucking them into the water. A pirate ship that could travel normally in the Starry Sea had to be at least a 3-star ship. Otherwise, just the corrosive force would melt the ship, not to mention traveling long distances. Naturally, the oceanic ferocious beasts born in such a harsh sea environment were even harder to deal with. Xiao Suo, where are we? Xiao Chen's voice rang out in Xiao Suo's ears. Xiao Suo, who was in the control room, immediately answered, Captain, we just passed the edge of the Grave Sea. We can be considered to have officially entered the Grave Sea. Xiao Suo's tone was rather calm, containing some joy. He had not stepped into the Starry Sea for many years already. After leaving the Purple Sun region, Xiao Chen requested that everyone just address him by his name and that there was no need to be so polite. However, everyone felt respect and gratitude for Xiao Chen, so it was not convenient for them to address him by his name. Hence, they compromised by calling him Captain. It was like heaven was looking out for them. When the Black Scimitar pirate ship entered the Grave Sea's periphery, it did not run into any strong storms or oceanic ferocious beasts. They didn't encounter any big storms, nor did they encounter any fierce sea beasts. The sky was clear and boundless, and the wind was gentle and sunny. Xiao Chen entered deep thought. The 2 months of peace had not dispelled his wariness. The Black Lotus Church would catch up sooner or later. Senior Jiao Snake had already said goodbye to Xiao Chen, preparing to search for other fortuitous encounters. Xiao Chen needed to rush to the sect of Pan Huang's disciple, Yi Zifeng, as soon as possible. However, the Grave Sea was boundlessly vast, even vaster than 100 great thousand realms combined. It was truly difficult to find. If Xiao Chen wanted to reach Yi Zifeng's sect, he would need a lot of time. Furthermore, this did not take into account the unexpected encounters along the way, such as oceanic ferocious beasts, other pirate ships, factions that were at odds with the Pirate Alliance, or storms. Chapter 16:11. Xiao Chen came out of his room and went to the control room. Xiao Suo and the others were currently controlling the Black Cutlass pirate ship as it sailed through the vast sea. The Black Cutlass was the abbreviation of the Black Cutlass, the name Xiao Suo gave the pirate ship. Xiao Suo was no stranger to the Starry Sea's environment after his experience at sea. The Black Cutlass pirate ship traveled very smoothly through the complicated Starry Sea. Captain, you're out? Xiao Suo looked at Xiao Chen in surprise. Xiao Chen had not shown himself for the past 2 months, communicating through voice projections. Today, Xiao Chen officially came out of closed-door cultivation. A water screen in front of the control room showed the scene of the sea region ahead. Through the adjustments of the formation, the water screen could display a 360-degree view without any blind spots, which was very convenient. Being in the control room gave one the feeling of being in control of the entire situation. Xiao Chen nodded slightly. He was not very satisfied with the pirate ship's speed. They had just entered the depths of the Grave Sea, yet another month had passed. Who knew how long they would have to wait to reach Senior Yi Zifeng's sect? The vastness of the Grave Sea somewhat surpassed Xiao Chen's expectations. Xiao Suo could tell what Xiao Chen was thinking. He explained, the Black Cutlass is already very fast for traveling through the Starry Sea. Even a late-stage Major Primal Core Venerate is not as fast as the Black Cutlass. Xiao Chen knew this. The gravity in the Starry Sea was 10 times that of the outside world. Flying on the surface of the sea would not only exhaust a lot of energy, but it would also be very slow. Furthermore, there was the danger of falling into the sea at any moment. The strong corrosive nature of the Starry Sea was no joke. No one would be willing to soak in it. I only hope that the Black Lotus Church does not discover us before we meet Senior Yi Zifeng again. Xiao Chen knew that this matter could not be rushed. As for the Black Lotus Church, he could only pray. Rumble! Suddenly, the sound of huge waves came from the sea in front. The waves were startling, and the aura of a strong oceanic ferocious beast arrived. The water screen in the control room showed a sharp, black object on the surface of the sea. Xiao Sua's expression changed slightly. He said sullenly, "We probably ran into an oceanic ferocious beast. Based on this dorsal fin, it is at least 1 kilometer long. I'll go take a look." Xiao Chen did not panic. He quietly activated his heavenly insight divine eye and turned into a beam of light, flying out of the ship. He hovered in the sky and looked ahead. The heavenly insight god eye pierced through the seawater and looked down. He realized that the dorsal fin that was exposed on the surface of the sea was only the tip of the iceberg. His line of sight continued to sink along the dorsal fin of this marine beast. After 500 meters, Xiao Chen found a sawtooth shark that was thousands of meters long. This was definitely the largest oceanic ferocious beast that Xiao Chen had ever seen. It was several times larger than the jiao snake, giving off an even stronger pressure. Xiao Chen withdrew his heavenly eye and said sullenly, "Circle around. This ferocious beast is several kilometers long. Its dorsal fin is just the tip of the iceberg. It is not easy to deal with." Could it be a black star sawtooth shark? The experienced Xiao Sua immediately thought of a certain oceanic ferocious beast. The black star sawtooth shark is a rather strong oceanic ferocious beast. It is born with the strength of a primal core venerate. After it reaches adulthood, it can stand shoulder to shoulder with a major primal core venerate. At the strongest, it can rival the horrifying strength of a cloud sea cultivator. Luonan and Fei Er, who were in the control room, quickly provided information about this black star sawtooth shark. During the past 2 months, the two had learned a lot about the sea. "It's over. There is no time to circle around." Xiao Sua's face sank. The black star sawtooth shark in the image suddenly leaped out of the sea, revealing its huge body. Its abdomen was covered in black star patterns, the mark of the black star sawtooth shark. The black star sawtooth shark soared into the air and leaped out of the sea. Then, under the pull of the starry sea's gravity, it charged towards the pirate ship. Under the influence of gravity, its huge body shot forward like an arrow, moving at a horrifying speed. "Don't panic. Xiao Sua, stabilize the ship. I'll use the immemorial demon soul formation to deal with it." At the crucial moment, Xiao Chen stabilized the situation and calmly issued orders. Xiao Chen gently pushed off with his feet and leaped out of the control room. With a few flashes, he arrived at the top of the pirate ship. The first thing to arrive was the towering waves that the black star sawtooth shark kicked up. The strong waves could kill a regular yang essence stage cultivator. They were very mighty and had a strong corrosive nature. Even though the pirate ship had a protective barrier, it could not avoid being shaken and damaged. Xiao Chen stretched out his hand and grasped the lunar shadow saber. Then, he sent out a resplendent saber light. The saber light chopped the towering waves in half, not landing on the pirate ship at all. Sheathing his saber, Xiao Chen took out the scarlet blood war banner. Then, he gently waved the war banner, and the immemorial demon soul formation in the ship instantly activated. A dense layer of bloody clouds erupted with a startling bloodthirsty aura spreading out in the sky. Whoosh! A huge Yazi beast image quickly encased the exquisite pirate ship. In this huge image, the pirate ship was like the Yazi beast's heart, located within its body. As the spirit jades in the formation drained, white bones continuously appeared in the Yazi beast's demon soul image. Then, they connected and formed a huge skeleton. This made the image appear much more substantial. Boom! The Yazi beast demon soul opened its mouth and welcomed the incoming black star sawtooth shark. Ka-sie! Ka-sie! The black star sawtooth shark's huge and sharp teeth shattered. Intense shock waves spread out. After passing through several obstacles, the pirate ship at the heart of the Yazi beast demon soul only shook slightly. There was no need to control the Yazi beast demon soul. When it fought, it would activate its bloodthirsty and savage nature. Even after turning into a soul, the Yazi beast demon soul could not eliminate its bloodthirsty nature. The Yazi beast demon soul had the head of a dragon and the body of a leopard. As it stood on the surface of the sea, its huge body was incredibly nimble. The Yazi beast demon soul instantly fought an intense battle with the black star sawtooth shark. Spirit jades continuously drained from the immemorial demon soul formation, turning into bloodthirsty lights leaping about in the formation. Shao Qin thought to himself, what a strong black star sawtooth shark. Furthermore, it is still a juvenile and has yet to grow up. To think that it can fight the Yazi beast demon soul to a draw. After all, this demon soul was not affected by gravity. Furthermore, it did not feel pain. It was bloodthirsty and possessed an unyielding character, completely inheriting the nature of the Yazi beast. Fortunately, this fight did not last long. 4 hours later, the black star sawtooth shark clearly lost. It gradually gave out and became completely powerless, unable to move. The bloodthirsty Yazi beast demon soul started to consume the blood of the black star sawtooth shark. Soon, the black star sawtooth shark turned into an empty shell with no blood flowing through it, slowly sinking into the sea. The starry sea slowly absorbed the black star sawtooth shark's body. Soon, only a skeleton remained. This scene happened too quickly, making one's scalp go numb. Now they had a deep understanding of the strong corrosive nature of the starry sea. Shao Qin waved the war banner and the formation scattered. The Yazi beast demon soul turned into countless clumps of light, continuously shrinking. Finally, it turned into drops of blood that fell into the immemorial demon soul formation. Whoosh! It looked like a rain of blood fell in the immemorial demon soul formation. A sinister blood mist rose up from the surface of the formation. The Yazi beast carved on the formation plate at the core of the formation seemed to show an expression of enjoyment. Shao Qin entered deep thought. I should be able to light up a pearl if I consume a few more of such huge oceanic ferocious beasts. At that time, the strength of the Yazi beast demon soul will improve further. Before Shao Qin could heave a sigh of relief, a low, sorrowful cry suddenly rang out in the surroundings of the vast sea. This sound wave shook the surrounding 50 kilometers, causing the seawater to undulate intensely. The waves rolled over the waves, fluctuating violently and irregularly. The pirate ship started shaking intensely, rising and falling with the waves, completely uncontrollable. Shao Qin stood at the top of the ship, doing his best to stabilize himself. Then, he looked around and saw a black star sawtooth shark several times larger than the pirate ship in the distance. It floated out of the water and whimpered softly. The young black star sawtooth shark that Shao Qin killed earlier might be its offspring. Otherwise, it would not make such a sorrowful cry. As the sorrowful cry spread out, similar cries echoed in the distance. Many black dorsal fins appeared on the surface of the sea. This startled Shao Qin. This is bad. This black star sawtooth shark thinks of me as a strong enemy and is calling for companions. Retreat. Shao Qin landed in the control room and got Shao Suo to control the pirate ship to retreat quickly. Shao Qin could deal with one young black star sawtooth shark. However, there was no chance of victory against a group of adult black star sawtooth sharks. The people in the control room also took action urgently. The image on the water screen showed at least 100 black star sawtooth sharks gathered together. Captain, the waves are too big. We are too slow. Shao Suo skillfully controlled the pirate ship. However, the waves grew increasingly larger, and the black star sawtooth sharks were completely pinned down. On the other hand, after the black star sawtooth sharks gathered together, they moved forward in the water as one. Go down and hide. Shao Qin made a prompt decision and decisively gave the order. No one doubted Shao Qin's orders. Fei activated the Dark Night Bewildering formation on the pirate ship. The ship turned pitch black, looking like a black rock sinking into the water. After activating the Dark Night Bewildering formation, the pirate ship silently merged with the dark light, concealing all signs of life at the same time. The pirate ship's 3-star defensive formation also activated at the same time, resisting the corrosion of the starry sea. The ship fell silent. No one dared to speak. In such a life-and-death situation, everyone felt incredibly nervous. Several minutes passed. The pirate ship did not show any major movement. Everything was incredibly quiet. It seemed like the school of black star sawtooth sharks had not discovered the pirate ship. However, no one said anything. After some time in the dark sea, Xiao Suo felt that something was wrong. He said softly, "Why do I feel that the pirate ship is still moving quickly? The undercurrents should not be that fast." Xiao Qin frowned slightly. He did not know much about the undercurrents at the bottom of the sea. When he heard Xiao Suo's words, he silently sent out his spiritual sense. His spiritual sense was affected at the bottom of the sea. He could not see many places. However, when Xiao Qin saw some of the surrounding scenes, he was so shocked that he did not dare to go down. There were adult black star sawtooth sharks everywhere. This school of black star sawtooth sharks had trapped the pirate ship. However, these black star sawtooth sharks were still moving forward, searching for the pirate ship. However, these black star sawtooth sharks did not know that the pirate ship was already in the middle of them. As they swam, the undercurrents they created pushed the pirate ship forward. When Xiao Qin told everyone about this situation, everyone in the control room was startled silly. This was like a sheep moving with a pack of wolves. They could be discovered at any moment. The pirate ship could conceal its signs of life, merging with the darkness. However, it would not truly vanish. If one touched it or accidentally bit it, it would be a disaster. Xiao Qin turned his head and said, "Xiao Suo, control the ship based on the feeling of the undercurrents. Do not let them touch it, otherwise we will all die." When Xiao Suo heard that, he felt immense pressure. His hands trembled. However, he saw Xiao Qin's trusting gaze. Xiao Suo clenched his teeth and charged forward at this crucial moment. Chapter 16:12. In the dark and deep sea, hundreds of black star sawtooth sharks, each of them several thousand meters long, were crazily chasing in a certain direction. Each black star sawtooth shark looked independent, but in reality, their auras were connected to each other. They formed a huge body, looking like a single black star sawtooth shark swimming. This reduced the resistance, allowing them to move very fast in the water. They were far faster than some pirate ship. Furthermore, the complicated sea conditions did not affect them at all. They were simply blessed by nature. Compared to this huge body, the Black Cutlass pirate ship seemed exceptionally insignificant. Everyone on the ship felt their hearts in their throats as they focused their gazes on Xiao Suo. At this moment, as long as Xiao Suo made a mistake and bumped into any of the black star sawtooth sharks, the Dark Night Bewildering Formation would be broken. The Dark Night Bewildering Formation would be destroyed, and the life auras of everyone on the ship would be exposed. At that time, everyone on the ship would die. In the quiet underwater world, every second was torture for everyone. How long can the 3-star defensive formation last us at the bottom of the sea? Xiao Qin asked as he looked at Luonan. Luonan made some calculations before answering, 3 days. 3 days later, we have to surface to repair it. What about the Dark Night Bewildering Formation? Fayer said, that is still fine. As long as we have sufficient spirit jades and are not disturbed or destroyed by the outside world, we can last forever. 3 days should be enough. Now, it all depended on Xiao Suo. Every jolt of the pirate ship made everyone shudder in fear, thinking that they had run into black star sawtooth sharks. The ship stumbled along the way, on edge. However, they did not run into any black star sawtooth sharks in the end. They are going to change direction. They have already given up. Xiao Qin's spiritual sense sensed that this group of black star sawtooth sharks finally stopped wasting energy after chasing for a long time. Whoosh! Everyone heaved a sigh of relief. They could finally escape from this dangerous situation. Their hearts could not take it anymore. However, suddenly, the entire ship started spinning intensely. Everyone swayed left and right, their bodies shaking intensely. "What's wrong?" Xiao Sua said anxiously. "The undercurrent they are driving is too strong. The pirate ship is forcefully changing its direction." That was to say, the entire pirate ship was still being pulled along. It truly made one feel a bit of despair. They had just thought that they had escaped from the sea of bitterness, but who would have thought that the result would still be the same? Xiao Chen entered deep thought. He started to calculate his chances of escaping if he forcibly activated the immemorial demon soul formation. No matter how he thought about it, the chances weren't very high. The Yazi Beast demon soul was still somewhat weak, only equal to a major primal core cultivator. However, this group of adult black star sawtooth sharks were all as strong as a major primal core cultivator. The chances were slim, but he still had to do it, because this was the only way. At the very least, if he forcefully broke through, he would still have the initiative in his hands. It was much better than being discovered and having to defend and counterattack. However, when Xiao Chen spoke of his plan, a complicated light flashed in Xiao Sua's eyes. "Captain, trust me, okay? I guarantee that I can persist until the end and not make any mistake." What Xiao Chen was worried about was that Xiao Sua would make a mistake, because he was under too much pressure throughout the entire process. "Believe me, we can definitely do it. Putting our lives on the line is too risky." Xiao Sua's gaze was no longer perplexed, and it became even more resolute and confident. Xiao Chen looked at Xiao Sua and asked, "Are you sure that the lives of everyone on the ship are in your hands? You know that if you insist, I will definitely promise you." "I insist." "Good, I believe you." Xiao Chen did not argue or ask for too much of an explanation. He trusted Xiao Su unconditionally, which gratified him. "Do your best. We believe in you, too." Fei encouraged Xiao Su, sharing the pressure. "Leader, we believe in you, too." At this moment, Xiao Sua's original subordinates also trusted Xiao Sua without hesitation. The heavy trust allowed Xiao Sua to completely let go. As Xiao Chen stood at the side, he revealed a smile on his face. After this matter was over, Xiao Sua would probably undergo a true transformation. The people on the ship would become even more united. As the undercurrents surged, the black star sawtooth sharks dove deeper and deeper. The situation became even more complicated. However, Xiao Sua completely let go, performing exceptionally well. Although he stumbled, he did not run into any of the black star sawtooth sharks and did not expose himself. After an unknown amount of time, everyone could clearly sense that the speed of the pirate ship had slowed down. The school of black star sawtooth sharks scattered. The water screen in the control room had been pitch black. After a few flashes, an image finally appeared. Many towering trees grew in the sea region in front. These trees were crystalline and gave off a crystalline fluorescence. It was this light that illuminated the bottom of the sea, allowing the image to reappear on the water screen. Several black star sawtooth sharks swam quietly and contentedly among these fluorescent trees. The originally dark and sinister bottom of the sea formed a beautiful scene under the illumination of these fluorescent trees. Everyone somewhat forgot that they had already escaped danger. "How beautiful! What tree is that?" Fei said affectionately. Not only was that tree huge, but it was also crystalline and gave off a bright fluorescent light. Xiao Sua startled awake and said somewhat excitedly, "This is the starry sea fluorescent tree, also known as the tree of life of the sea. It has a long lifespan, a living fossil of the starry sea. We should have been brought to the most mysterious nest of the black star sawtooth sharks. If not for a fortuitous encounter, even a cloud sea super powerhouse would not be able to find this place. The juice that the tree of life secretes is known as the life juice source. It is said that the starry sea can give birth to life because of its existence. It is extremely miraculous." This life juice source can not only change the quality of a cultivator's physical body but also strengthen their bloodline. If I had a bottle of life juice source, I would be able to advance immediately. The crew members on the ship spoke of the various wonders and value of the Tree of Life. However, they were just saying it. The black star sawtooth sharks swimming peacefully in the Tree of Life were not just decorations. This was the nest of the black star sawtooth sharks. It was very likely that there would be a chief here. That would definitely be an existence surpassing the cloud sea realm. Strengthening the bloodline, improving the physical body, improving the physique, strengthening the foundation, and increasing the chances of advancing would increase explosively. These were the benefits of the life juice source. Every one of them was very tempting. Of course, Xiao Chen was tempted as well. As Xiao Chen stared at the towering trees on the water screen, a light flashed in his eyes as he instantly made up his mind. It was not Xiao Chen's character to just leave these natural treasures like that. He wanted to take a risk. The life juice source was actually the source of life. The various benefits it brought were truly worthy of this title. More importantly, to Xiao Chen, these spiritual trees were extremely valuable in themselves. Xiao saw you all slowly float up first and wait for me on the water surface. The moment Xiao Chen said that, everyone on the ship was shocked. What was he doing? The nest of the black star sawtooth sharks was just ahead. Xiao Chen had already made his decision, but he could not implicate Xiao Suo and the others. He would take the risk alone. Although Xiao Suo was not willing to let Xiao Chen take the risk, he understood Xiao Chen's character. In that case, we will wait for you to come up. Captain, you have to come up alive. Feeling these people's sincere concern, Xiao Chen felt very warm in his heart. No matter where he was, it was a happy thing to have such a group of people following him sincerely. After leaving the pirate ship, Xiao Chen withdrew his aura and allowed the Buddhist pendant on his chest to bring out its greatest effect. Then, he slowly made his way to the nest of the black star sawtooth sharks. There were hundreds of trees of life there. To Xiao Chen, every tree was a supreme treasure. The starry sea had an intense corrosive nature. Xiao Chen constantly drained his veritable essence energy to form a protective barrier around him. Xiao Chen could only stay for 1 to 4 hours. He absolutely could not stay any longer than that. He tried his best not to fight. That way, he could stay even shorter. With some anticipation, Xiao Chen slowly approached the nest of the black star sawtooth sharks.